The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 405, being recorded on October the 3rd, 2022. I'm one of your hosts. Here goes also known as Jesus Walks Out today. I'm joined by my friend from Little Ohio, Steve Williams back. The Mayo is back. Welcome back, Mayo.
Hey,
welcome.
Jesus. What's going on?
Howdy. How's it going?
Good. Just made it back from vacation, so all refreshed.
Well, I like to hear.
You know, reset, ready to go.
That's awesome. And from the West Coast, the best coast, Gunny Chief Henry Merrill is back. Welcome back, Gunny. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. I'm glad to be here today. Glad to see your faces.
You're very loud. Jeez.
Sorry, I'll tone it down a little bit. I'm just excited to talk about the games I've been playing and being frustrated at.
You're very loud, sir. I'm going to have to turn you down a little bit here.
Right. Sorry, I'll talk like this.
There you go. That's more like it. Anyways, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. You can always follow us on Twitter at _Horrible Gamers. Follow us on Facebook, Horrible Gamers Podcast is our page. There is a group on Facebook as well, Horrible Gamers Podcast Community. That is a close group. Anything you post in there stays in there. And you can also join our Discord, which is pretty popular. I feel like that's where I'm on most these days. I still get on the Facebook. I'm still on there. And I see everything that people post. It's just sometimes the stuff gets hidden from me, man. Like, I've had people message me saying, hey, why is my post hidden? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'll go into the group and I'll find their post, but like for some reason Facebook they'll put like the popular post on the top of the page or the group. And they'll like sort the new post to the bottom, or like people that don't post often, they'll sort theirs to the bottom. So like when people get on there, they don't really see the latest post sometimes. They'll see something that somebody posted, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, right? But they won't see whatever somebody else posted today. And it's like, they think that we hit it or whatever, but it's not us. It's just automatically, that's what Facebook is doing. I don't know, the algorithm thinks you're not cool enough.
Analytics, or, I mean, it's probably got to be analytics, right? That
I don't know. The Facebook team doesn't think you're cool enough to have your post up there. So if they don't think so, then I guess you're not cool enough. I don't know. You can also support the show with the money by heading on over to Patreon. Patreon.com is the place to go. You search for Horrible Gamers, become an active Patreon machine like our friend Leahy. Big shout out to Leahy. You know, Leahy has been a Patreon since September 29th, 2020. Shout out to Big Leahy. Jason Sam since September 17th, 2020. Robert Noble since May 6th, 2020. Sean Patrick since April 2nd of 2020. Chad since October 29th of 2019. Wow. Henley since April 17th of 2019. Pork Chapu since March 27th of 2019. Nipron since February 28th, 2019. Ooh, Nipron took the lead there. The best HGP host ever since January 27th of 2019. Evan, in all caps, Big Mommy Milkers, Big D Tanaka, since February 24th of 2018. Jonathan Titan Big D Hall, since February 21st of 2018. And the first HGP Patreon, Bill, still even the biggest D, Garner II, the Elder Lord. He's been a Patreon since February 11th of 2018. We've had Patreon going for that long.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
It's 2022. How the fuck?
Time flies. Thank you, everyone.
Time does fly, I guess, when you're having fun. This podcast has been going for that long.
I know, right?
Are you fucking kidding me? Since before this is because it was going at least for like 5 years before the Patreon.
I know.
So fuck. That's a long time, and big thank you to all of you guys for being Patreon machines, and just wow, that's a long time, Mayo.
Yeah, appreciate everyone that supports us, everyone that listens to us.
Yeah, It's a long time we've been doing this, I guess. You can also support the show by heading on over to Redbubble. If you just like to buy some stuff, head on over to Redbubble. Get yourself some gear. We really don't make much money on this stuff. We literally make the least amount of money that we could possibly make on this stuff. I'm talking like we're making like maybe 50 cents. maybe
what
a dollar.
Pennies on a dollar, right?
How much did you make off of that notebook and stickers I got?
It's probably like 15 cents.
Hey, there's money in the bank. Inflation, it's like, yeah, it's worth.
Head on over to Redbubble, get yourself some gear, some HGP items. You can get yourself a nice notebook, some stickers, put some stickers all over your car. I don't know, man. Get yourself a nice acrylic block or some socks because winter is coming. And yeah, so head on over to Redbubble, get yourself some nice gear. And big shout out to Phantom Mank for the intro and outro music to the podcast. Their music is great. Find them on Spotify, find them on YouTube, find them on Pandora, find them on Apple Music. You can pretty much find them on anything. Phantom Mank is the artist's name. And yeah, they got some pretty cool chip tunes. And yeah, so let's talk about what we've been playing in the last few weeks. I know we didn't have a show last week, or was it the week before that?
It was last week because I was on vacation and.
Oh yeah, it was last week. It was just I don't even know where I was last week on Monday. I don't remember. Yeah.
You must be tired, Jesus. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago.
I don't remember. I don't remember where I was. But
hey, before we start that, Jesus, I wanted to remember we were giving Mayo a hard time here because he was headed out to North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever, and then that big storm was coming to Florida, and I know they're not far apart. And I had mentioned that, does the Camaro float? You may not want to go, but you knew ahead of time, right, Mayo?
Oh yeah. I was watching the weather, especially the whole time while I was down there. So I was
Mayo
down in
was
South
out there,
Carolina.
He was out there storm chasing. He was chasing that thing with his Camaro.
Oh no, I was dodging.
Trying to outrun it.
I was dodging.
You should have put like GoPro cameras all over your Camaro and drove right into that motherfucker. Yeah, let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
Get your inflatables on there. Yeah.
Yeah. I ended up leaving a day early just to avoid it, like so I could not have to drive home for like 8 hours in the rain and the wind.
That was a smart move. Because Florida got fucked up by that fucking shit.
I was in South Carolina at Myrtle Beach and it wasn't nearly as bad. But it was. I did see some damage. Dude. Yeah, I did see damage, and I was showing my son. We saw some TikTok videos. There's an amusement park right there in Myrtle Beach, and we were right at that park the day before that, like the day we left. You know, we were walking.
So when you were there, Mail, like, were you in the process of did you see anybody, like, were they just closing things down and boarding up windows? Like, how does that work?
It was all casual there. Like, all the stores were open and all the stuff right there along the beach, like the Broadway at the beach and the boardwalk at the beach, all that stuff was open. And they were just basically, I think they were just kind of planning and getting ready. But everything was open. My hotel, my complex I was at, my resort, it basically was just sent me an email saying, or a text message, I think, saying, you know, hey, bring in all the furniture, like off the decks. I had like 2 decks. I had a front deck and a back deck. One had like an overview of we had our own little pool area and stuff. And they're like, bring in all those, you know, that patio furniture, you know, just bring it inside the place. But I was checking out that day anyway, so I just brought it all in for them. But yeah, I mean, and that was it. You know, then I checked out. I did check out a day earlier because, like I said, I did not plan on staying for the storm. So I did try to see if they would reimburse me. And the hotel was like, no, you're checking out a day early. The storm's not here yet. So I'm like, well, the storm's tomorrow, you know. Okay, it was the next day. They're like, yeah, you could have checked out the next day. I'm like, I wasn't driving home in that.
Was that just because of like how long traffic would be or whatever? Right? Everybody else trying to get out or not get out, but I guess even go to higher ground.
I just didn't want to deal with the weather. Like, nobody was really leaving. Yeah. Like, there was other people there, and there was some people leaving that was maybe ending their vacation a day early. You know, but like a lot of the locals and stuff weren't going anywhere. There it is. Battening down the hatches, I guess, if you'd want to call it, you know. Some of the places you could see them, they were working on like their windows, make sure their windows were tightened up or something, maybe. You know, like you'd see them kind of working on windows and stuff like that on their houses and stuff. But, you know, it wasn't nothing like They weren't bordering up. They weren't putting sandbags down or nothing like that we've seen.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about, sandbags or whatever. I know there was flooding, but I don't know what areas or.
And I think it just flooded a little ways off the beach. It went up where the hotel areas were at, and they're kind of built for it, I think.
Nice.
But
nice. Did you enjoyed the joust?
Yeah. We went to a medieval time place, and that where they do the whole knights and kings. We were treated like kings, and they give you food. It's all hand food. They give you a big old chunk of chicken. It's like a big old chicken quarter. And then they
have like a chicken. Hey, hold on. Did you have like that big turkey leg with the bone?
Yeah, they called it like dragon meat, but it was it was chicken. And then they gave you it was supposed to be corn on the cob, but they gave you a piece of sausage instead this time. But it was like cooked, but you had to eat everything with your hands. And then they gave you garlic bread, and then you had like a goblet to drink out of and stuff. And then they give you a little like paper McDonald's or like say Burger King paper crown, and you put on, and depending on the seats that you had, you represented a certain knight in your section. So we were on the right, on the left side, and so there was in a section we were at were the black and white knight, but then right beside us was like the red knight, and I think I'm from what the other one was, the yellow knight, and on the other side it was like the red and yellow, the blue and the green knights, and so. They were our rivals, so we were supposed to boo them all the time. And when they were coming out, and even though it wasn't just our night, so it was going back and forth. My son was getting all into it. He's like, "Yeah, kill him, kick his ass," kind of thing. It was kind of funny. Nice. And so they do the horse jousting, and then the horses were out there doing tricks, and then they had some stuff where like they had like a live falcon that kind of flew overhead and made some passes and did some tricks, and then they did the jousting, and like on the second pass, they would kind of knock each other off the horses, or one would get knocked off the horse, and they would do like hand-to-hand combat, and they chose different weapons every time. But and you could tell it was very choreographed. But depending on the weapons they were using, it was pretty good fighting. I like how they worked it out and stuff, and it was pretty neat.
Sounds badass. Sounds like some manly ass shit.
It was a 2-hour show. I mean, so
was there any wenches around?
Yes, they mentioned the wenches, and then some of the I'm trying to think. That's what they called all the servers as well. A lot of our waitresses they were calling them the wenches, and everything was my lord. So when we were checking in, they're like, "Welcome, my lord," and then they were saying everything, and everything was my lord, and the gift shop was the same way. But
I'd be like, "It's your grace, motherfucker."
That's right. But it was neat. Cool. They had a bunch of neat souvenirs you could buy. We also did a Ripley's Believe It or Not. We walked through one of those. Did a lot of expensive putt-putt. Went to a car museum and did a couple other things. It was a good time, though.
Wait. Glad you had a good time. That sounds nice.
That's cool. And to all our listeners out in Florida, I mean, we're talking shit about your state because you got hit by a hurricane, but in all seriousness, hope you guys are okay, and hopefully your houses are okay, and you guys are fine.
Quite a few people down there that listen.
We do. We know we have a lot of people that listen in Florida, and hopefully you guys are doing well. I mean, I hope all of you guys survived the hurricane. And Sean Freeman from ZombieCast, he was texting me or messaging me on Messenger or whatever because we're in a group chat. He was all posting photos and shit of Myrtle Beach. Pretty sure he lives in like North Carolina or whatever.
South Carolina, yeah.
And or whatever, South Carolina, one of the fucking Carolinas. He lives over there, and he was posting photos. He was like, "It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy out here. It's fucking raining and shit. Fucking storms coming in." He was out there in his fucking yard, fucking recording this shit. I'm like, "You crazy fuck. Get the fucking side, dude. What the fuck are you doing?"
He's like those, you go to TikTok, you can see all the TikTok videos of people out there recording it. I had a laugh though, not making, like you said, not making fun of the storm, but I did see this one TikTok, and it was from Florida. And they're recording and talking about how crazy it is. And all of a sudden in the background, you see a guy riding by on a bicycle, and he's got a snorkel on and flip-flops. And you're like, what on earth?
Ready, man. He's fucking ready in case.
Yeah, he was ready.
Man.
Yeah, I saw people had like their boats and their, on their, at the curb of where their house is. I guess they could just get in the boat and float away.
I think that was something that was unique too. I seen where in Myrtle Beach, after I left, there was a shrimp boat that was washed ashore. So it got beached on the beach. So there's like this big shrimp boat there. And so they had to eventually remove that here. But that was kind of neat to see. But the other thing that was kind of crazy to see was online and TV and stuff was, what was it? Tampa Bay was drained. When it first came in, it pulled all the water out of Tampa Bay. And then, obviously it refilled it. But the people were out walking across it and taking videos of it and stuff.
Nuts. I didn't see that. So almost like a tsunami in a way.
Yeah. Like it just pulled all the water out of it and used that water, during the hurricane part, and then refills it on the backside, I guess, deposits it all back and then some. So.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. But, yeah, like I said, hopefully all our East Coast people are doing well. I was thinking the whole time, man, like, well, why the fuck would you live in a state that happens like every fucking year? Why would you want to live there? I mean, what the fuck does Florida have to offer? I mean, all you got has the fucking pythons everywhere. They got pythons everywhere, crazy fucking alligators and crocodiles and fucking... They got all the crazy animals there, all right? Because people they buy a fucking cheetah and then let it go in the woods or whatever. And there's a fucking cheetah out there reproducing. Now there's cheetahs everywhere or whatever. Like, you got crazy shit out there like that. And why would you want to live there? It's like living in Kentucky or like the Midwest. Why the fuck would you want to live there either?
Oh, I don't know, Jesus. Why? Why would I?
Bunch of fucking tornadoes all the time and fucking twisters and shit. Fuck that shit, man. Oh, on the West Coast, what do we have, Gunny? We got sunshine, hot girls, all the free weed you want.
Forest fires.
California. Girls. We got lots of fires. We have lots of fires. We have water.
We have the coolest fires, okay?
You guys have some pretty cool fires.
It's always like, I'll be messaging Jesus. I'll be like, hey, Jesus, that fire in California, is that going your way? He's like, yeah. I'm like, inundated with smoke right now for your California fire. It's going north.
What did I see the other day? I was watching something on the news, and they were talking about air pollution. They said the West Coast of the United States has the world's worst air pollution. Mainly because of the fires. But your air quality is the worst in the world. There
was a few times, where Oregon had like the worst air quality than like Hong Kong and
you guys have a lot of trees over there, don't you? Like,
but I mean, think about it, like so much smoke, the trees can only fix so much.
It's California, right? It's blowing all its pollution up to you.
Those dirty Californians blow their fucking air up here.
Yeah, that's what I think happens over there.
But all we have to worry about is a big earthquake. Whenever that happens, we're fucked. We're going into the ocean, Mayo. You're never going to hear from me again. I'm going to be out there floating on an island. Hopefully get rescued by the Coast Guard because I'm going to be fucked.
Your only other worry is what? Like a tsunami would be the only thing that could possibly... not that you guys have them, but like that would be your only other threat, really.
Yeah, but that's mostly like in the coastal range. Like I'm near the coast, but not that close to where, like, even if a tsunami did happen here, even if it was like a mega, super huge, giant tsunami, it wouldn't really affect me, I don't think. Because we got all the mountains and the hills in between and like...
Yeah. I'm probably an equal distance like you, Jesus. I'm 40 minutes from the ocean.
Yeah, I'm about an hour away, so like I feel like I'm pretty safe. Those coast people, they're fucked though. They're fucked. They're dead. When the tsunami hits, they're fucking dead. They got like 2 minutes to escape. I think they got like tsunami alarms and they give you like a 3-minute warning or something. Tsunami's coming in about 4 minutes. You're fucking fucked. You better get to high ground right now or you're dead. So good luck to those people that are living the fucking, like the people that live right by the water. They're fucking dead. There's no way they're going to get out, dude. But big earthquakes, tsunamis, and forest fires is what we have. I mean, but we don't have to deal with it every year. Okay, maybe the forest fires, but like the earthquake is going to happen when it happens, right? Like it may happen in the next 40 years, they say, but like, who knows? Really, man, is it really going to happen in the next 40 years?
You never know, right? You never know. Yeah, it could be 100 years.
It could be.
I mean, we have small ones. We have small ones all the time.
That big ass, was it the San Andreas fault, right? That's the one's going to fuck us up.
Yeah, that might do it.
That's where I'm at. I'm right. Yeah. I'm not in the epicenter of the San Andreas fault, but I'm near it.
Yeah, the fucking Rock made a movie about it, right? So listen, the Rock's going to come out here. He's going to save us all in his big helicopter.
Yeah.
All right, he's going to come out here and save us all.
He's going to parachute down and go, all right, let's go. Let's just keep running.
Yeah, all right. So I feel pretty safe, man, okay? We got all the famous...
When all that happens, you guys can come over here to Ohio, and then you guys will never leave. Mayo. You'll just come to Ohio and you'll stay here.
the West Coast has all the rich, famous people. You think they're not going to fucking be prepared for this shit? They got to save all those people, right? How is this country going to run without the famous people? It just won't.
Yeah, it won't.
This country will be fucked.
Or they're going to prioritize and getting them people out of there, and all you commoners, you're screwed.
Sir, there's no more room in the airplane. Paris Hilton has to get her chihuahuas on board, and
right.
We need more room for them than you.
You'd be like, she's like the only passenger, and you're like, what the fuck? This is like an 80 passenger plane. They're like, well, yeah, but she requires all 79 chairs. Those are hers.
She requires privacy.
Right.
Yeah, I think the Kardashians are probably going to take over an airport in Southern California.
Yeah, they want their privacy to in the plane, so we cannot allow you on the plane.
Then you'd be lucky enough to get on a plane, and then you'd be like second priority to take off, and then it'll just be too late.
Yeah.
They'll let everybody else go first, and you'll be sitting there waiting to leave.
All the rich people get to take off in their jets first.
Yeah, all the private jets.
Your plane was scheduled to take off at 10, but we got, fucking...
Sorry, we had just a slight delay.
Elon Musk decided to take off right now, so you have to wait.
Near the airspace. My gosh.
We're fucked. We're fucked, Gunny. We are fucked if we get hit with an earthquake.
I'm
I don't know what I was... I mean, damn, like, I remember I was... what was it? I can't remember what year it was. 98? Was it the Oakland A's were playing at the time? Were they playing the Giants? I think it could have been like...
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Kind of interleague play or something. But yeah, I remember just sitting there. I remember like shaking, going, what was that? My friends were like, what are you talking about? And then not even 10 seconds later, it was like everything started shaking. And people were bursting out of their homes, and I remember the electric pole fell over. And like, boom, like set the field on fire within seconds. Yeah. I was like,
I remember they talk about that earthquake all the time here on the news, and they're always talking about how Portland would be just fucked. Like, they're like, yeah, Portland has so many bridges that won't even stand like a minor earthquake, let alone like the big one. And if that were to ever happen, you guys are all pretty much fucked. Like, there's no way firemen or paramedics or cops or anyone's going to be able to get to you. So you better be prepared to be out there fighting for food and shit with people, because, yeah.
You got a lot of bridges here. You have 7 state-owned bridges, and then that doesn't include the Golden Gate Bridge, so there's 8.
Dude, I think Portland alone, just the city alone, has like 7 bridges in it. There's so many bridges in Portland, it's fucking nuts. Well, it's called the Bridge City.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, like, there's so many bridges there. That
a big earthquake's never happened here before. Yeah.
Right. Heck, we've actually had little earthquakes out here in Ohio. I can't remember what the biggest like measurement was, but they've had them, and I've never actually felt it myself, but they've happened. Or people are like, oh, did you feel that earthquake? I'm like, no. They're like, oh yeah, it was like at this time, like so many hours ago, and I'm like, don't know what you're talking about. But it has happened in Ohio, I guess. Jesus.
Yeah, they're saying that the earthquake that they predict that's going to hit Oregon within the next 50 years will be like a 9.0 earthquake.
That wouldn't be good, yeah.
It's pretty big. It's like the biggest it can record, I think. So yeah, we're fucked. But anyways, till that happens, we're good, guys. West Coast, Best Coast. Fuck the rest of the country, y'all losers. A bunch of hobos live on the rest of the country. Right, Gunny?
That's right.
Hey,
West Coast,
all I can say is, Evan came out here from the West Coast and he stayed out here, so
that's
he
what
likes
happens,
it.
Right? They get held captive, and
yeah, he got held captive by
we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's in the cult now.
He's in the cult, huh?
The Corin cult.
Poor Evan. Evan,
he went apple picking the other day.
Oh, what the fuck? Evan, what kind of Californian are you?
You wearing like a robe too, and some sandals, and singing Kumbaya? What's going on over there?
Is fucking Evan out there wearing a fucking straw hat now and wearing suspenders and shit?
Whatever happened to my Evan that wears like California shorts and?
Yeah, he was out there in his little.
Had a surfboard.
He's got himself a nice little knee scooter, so he put it in all-terrain mode and then drove out there, because you guys like drive through the grass. You're like in the field and you're like along all these trees. And you go out there and you pick your own apples. And so, yeah, he came back with these, I had all these apples on my counter, and he had some fresh
What
It's called
fuck?
homemade like lime pickles or something. But yeah,
what
he had
have
that. And
you
I'm
done
like,
to
oh,
Evan?
you went apple picking,
really,
didn't you? And he goes, yeah.
What
I
have
don't
you
even
done
know
to
this Evan anymore.
I don't even know this guy anymore. What the fuck have you done to our Evan?
Oh, I don't know. I've been gone.
He went from being the shirt pockets we knew, being a man, a California man, a West Coaster out here, fucking surfing and shit on the weekends.
If it makes you feel better, he's not driving a diesel truck yet. He still is driving the hybrid.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right?
Next week, hey guys, Evan traded in the hybrid. He got a big American diesel truck.
A step side dually.
The big ass Dodge Ram. All right, it's not even like a new Ram. It's like an old school ass Dodge Ram with the big ass fucking wheels and shit.
Right. Go smokestacks coming out of the back.
He went mudding in it. Is that what you're gonna tell us next week? That he fucking went mudding and all that shit? Come on, Mayo.
Yeah.
Man. Poor
Come
Evan.
back to California, Evan.
Evan, we've lost you. You're a lost cause now. The West Coast might not even want you back.
Oh, man.
Hey, if anybody wants to go out and visit Mayo in Ohio, just go ahead and come on to we have a Discord server. You can reach him there.
Just go to Mayo's house and stay there.
I think Evan's going to be leaving around like a little bit after Thanksgiving is kind of, I think, his plan. So I'll have time after then. I'll have an extra room.
It'll be an opening.
Right.
A reservation opening for 6 months.
He's gonna do Thanksgiving the right way here, with the old fashioned way here, in Ohio without the technology. He's gonna be sitting down with the leaves all different colors, and we'll have the corn stalks, and I might take him down to the pumpkin fest so we can get that that humongous pumpkin pie and all that fun stuff.
Damn.
All right. Okay. Well, good luck with that, Evan.
Yeah. Right.
Anyways, let's talk about what we've been playing this week or last week or the couple of weeks, I guess. Now I don't fucking know how long it's been. We've been playing games. Well, I have. I've played some games, Mayo.
Yeah.
Can you guess one game that I played?
I can probably. If I had a guess, I'm gonna take two stabs at it. The first one is gonna be the little less obvious. I want to say Bomber Crew still.
Yes.
Okay, see, there's one of them. And then I'm also going to guess the Call of Duty beta.
Oh, definitely. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I figured you did.
I did play some more Bomber Crew, and apparently I was corrected by one of the listeners, Vaderholic. He went back.
He knows.
And he apparently knows things, okay? I don't know. He's some kind of scientist, I think. I don't know. He's in our Discord, and he said...
Good memory.
That Bomber Crew was on Game Pass back when I was playing it in 2018. And that's where I was playing it. So I was apparently mad at Microsoft and cussing them out for no reason. So
I thought it was on Game Pass at one point in time. I didn't look it up.
It must have been because I was spurred. I owned it. Then they made me buy it, and I had to buy it. So I was fucking pissed because I had to buy it. But yeah, so Bomber Crew apparently was on Game Pass in 2018. And I fucking forgot.
Not to interrupt, but now it's on Games with Gold, right, Gunny?
Yeah.
So it's going to be Games
coming up
soon
this month. Yeah.
Yeah. End of the half of the this month. Yeah.
Oh, like on the 15th. I hate when they do that. Why the fuck don't they
There's a change. There's a change to it. I'll talk about them.
So they know what to look forward to.
But they must have listened to the show and said, you know what, Jesus, just to spite you, we're going to give it away for free next month.
Yeah.
You just bought this shit for $25. We're going to give it away. Fuck you.
I know. I saw Chivalry 2 is coming to Game Pass probably here in a couple hours. So by the time you hear this, it'll be available.
Great game. Great game. It should be fun. Get that game if you get it. I should
preload it. Yeah, and I think Vetterholic or somebody said, damn, I just bought it too, like a couple of weeks ago.
That game is fun. I played on the PC though, but I bet with that on the Game Pass, it might get people on the Xbox. I don't think it's crossplay. I honestly don't think it is. And but I do think it's crossplay between like Steam and I don't even know if it's on Steam. I think it's only on Epic.
I think it's a yearly exclusive, kind of like how they do Borderlands, right?
Oh, it might be. So I think it is crossplay between Epic and Steam, but not PC and console.
Yeah. I've been seeing that more. Like Hell Let Loose is like that. So only PS4 or 5 users and Xbox users. console hobos get.
It's a great game though. Chivalry 2 is fucking hilarious.
It is on Steam, just so you know.
All right, good. Yeah, it's a great game. I got it on the Epic Store when it first came out, and I still, that's one of the only games that I keep installed on the Epic launcher, actually. It's like the main one I keep installed on there. Just because I go back to it randomly and play a few matches here and there. And it's always fun every time I get in. And it's really not that hard to find matches. There's only been a few times where I was like, okay, this is taking a bit. But I've tried to go back to play like Mordhau instead of Chivalry 2. Mm-hmm. And Mordhau, it's like impossible to find a match really sometimes. Whereas in Chivalry 2, since it just has like automatic matchmaking or whatever, you're able to find a match pretty quick. Like you can do server browser, but whatever. It's cool. Anyways, Bomber Crew, man. Update on Bomber Crew. All my crew died. So there was a mistake I did, right, Mayo? All right, listen. So I had my crew. Remember how I was telling you, Gunny, how I had my crew leveled up or fucking people up, right?
Yeah.
I go on a mission. It's a mission to bomb some airfields. So it's a pretty far mission. So we're flying there. We're flying. We get there. We call in the backup, which is like these Mustang airplanes that come in and they help you fight the other planes. And we bombed the thing. My pilot was getting shot a few times. So what I did is I sent my pilot to go heal, right? We're flying back home now. We've done the mission. We bombed the base. We took the intel photographs. We're flying back to base. We're flying at like, I want to say mid altitude. And I'm doing I'm doing constant changes of altitude because some planes cannot follow you really high in the sky. Some can, some can't. Anyways, my plane's taking quite a bit of damage, but we're holding up. We could make it back home, right? All right, so I'm at high altitude now, and my pilot is healing up. My pilot's pretty much healed up all the way. So what I do is I switch my guy who's flying the plane, which is my navigator, I think it was my technician guy, my engineer. I tell him to go back to his engineer seat, and I tell my pilot to stand up and start walking towards the cockpit to get into the pilot seat, right? To fly us home. Well, when my dude jumped out of the pilot seat, he went to go sit down in the other seat. The pilot got up, and the thing is, I had all my crew geared up with like thermal, like electric heated boots and electric heated mittens and like really heavy armor, so they walk really slow. So my pilot starts walking towards the cockpit, right? He starts walking like really slow towards the front. What does the fucking plane start doing when it's in the middle of the air in high altitude? It starts to fucking nosedive because there's nobody flying it.
Oh, shit. Yeah. So
the fucker goes into a nosedive, right? And I'm like, oh my God, this fucker's going into a nosedive straight down. And once it starts going into a nosedive, the guys, they can't really walk, right? Because they're kind of like, oh shit, they're kind of like falling over or whatever inside the plane. So I'm trying to get like my navigator or my engineer to stand up and get to the cockpit. And they're trying, dude. They're fucking trying, right? Fucking plane, dude, is going full speed nosedive. Fucking full. Like I'm talking from high altitude, full speed, fucking nosedive into the ground. We're gonna fucking kamikaze, motherfuckers. And dude, that fucking shit hit the fucking ocean so hard. Everyone on the plane died. Everyone. Yeah. Not one survivor, dude. I think one guy lived. I think one guy lived. How close
was the pilot to getting into the seat, though?
He was super close, dude. He was like right there, man. He was like right there, but he just couldn't get to it, dude. He just couldn't get. And then my mistake was, what I should have done is I should have walked the pilot over to the cockpit, made him stand underneath it, made the other guy get out of the seat, and then have him jump in real quick, right? But I didn't think of that. I thought, oh, well, we're fine. I'll just have him walk to the cockpit and the plane will be fine. I didn't fucking think the airplane was going to start fucking nosediving. Everyone died. Okay, so you might think that's no big deal. Jesus, your crew died. Whatever. You'll get a new crew and a new plane. Okay, well, that's true. But the only thing that a fucking new airplane has is the armor on it. So, like, I unlocked the level 3 armor for the plane. So that was still on the plane, but all the upgraded turrets, the upgraded, like, all, like, the med stations that I had inside with, like, the med packs in it and shit, like, all the, like the little med kits that I had everywhere, those are not there anymore. Like the fire extinguishers that I had on my engines, those are gone. The homing pigeon is gone. The little inflatable raft is gone. All my guns were downgraded to like the level 1 guns. you pretty much lose everything that was on the plane that was upgraded, right? Besides the armor. And like that really, really sets you back, dude. Like really bad. Because the mission that we had just done was the critical mission. So that's the mission that progresses you in the story to like the next tier or whatever. So I tried to do it, man. I've been trying left and right to get like my new crew to be able to do these missions that are like on the next tier. And they're all like medium risk missions, so they're all red instead of green or blue. And it's damn near impossible, man. Like I've had so many people die because I have to do emergency landings all the time. My crew's getting shot up. They're getting fucked up. I've had like so many people die. Like there's been missions where I knew the guys were going to die. I just sent them to die. I was like, oh, you guys are going to die.
So I mean, I guess at this point, you're just going to start a new game, right?
I have to, I think.
I mean, I guess that's what the game wants you to do anyway. It sounds like to me.
So I've been looking at Reddit, and people on Reddit say like, don't start a new game, just keep grinding it out. You will eventually get enough money to upgrade your plane and start upgrading it again. Dude, like this last plane that I had was kind of starting to get a little bit of upgrades. What happens? They sent me into this mission where I had no chance. I literally took off from my airfield, was barely even like not even like that far away from my base. And I already had like people dying on my plane because they're getting shot. It was fucked, dude. I don't know. So I'm gonna have to start a new game again and start all over and not make that same fucking mistake of letting somebody not sit in the pilot seat. You know what I mean? For long or whatever, because that fucker will crash, dude. You know, either the plane will start doing like, it'll start like zigzagging in the air, or it'll just fucking nosedive. If it's at a high altitude, it'll just start going down and it'll just fucking nosedive straight into the ground, dude. Like no slowing down. We're going full speed. We're gonna die. We're gonna fucking do it right now. And it was pretty hard.
I'm already singing that highway to the danger zone in my head.
Yeah,
you know?
it was like that. But we're fucking nosediving on a.
But nobody's jumping out of the plane though.
And the thing is, you can have parachutes for your guys to jump out of the plane, but the problem is that if the plane is in a nosedive, they can't walk in the plane, dude. You know, like they're literally they're. That's why my pilot couldn't get to the pilot seat, because he couldn't fucking get to the pilot because the plane was in a nosedive. He can't walk forward, you know. So yeah, it was a big mistake that I made. But yeah, Bomber Crew is a punishing fucking game, but it's fun. I love that game. Anyways, besides Bomber Crew, I played definitely some more Battlefield 2042. So there was a new update on Mayo, patch 2.1.3 or something like that. This added new sandbags to the renewal map. The renewal map is that map with the big wall in the middle, and like one side is like the desert, and the other side is like the fields, the grass and shit. In this map, they've added like pretty much new cover to like the different bases and different objectives and areas in the map. Is it great? No. Is it better than it was? Yes. Is it like perfect? Of course not. They also added new guns to the game, new unlockable weapons. The M1911 is now available, as well as the P90 and the GOL sniper rifle. And these are all guns from Battlefield 3. So these are guns from the previous Battlefields that are being added to this Battlefield. Just like before, the M16 and the M60 were added. You have to do certain challenges with the guns to unlock those guns. So to get the GOL sniper, you have to get like 50 kills with the certain sniper rifle, and you have to get like 100 spot assists with the SOFLAM goggles or whatever. So you have to spot 100 enemies or 100 vehicles or whatever to be able to unlock that. And then for like the P90, you have to get like 100 kills with like an SMG, I think it's the V car that you have to get 100 kills with, and like so much like 50,000 damage with SMGs or something. And then to unlock the pistol, you have to get like 3 kills and 1 life with the sidearm. Like you have to use any sidearm, but you have to get 3 kills and 1 life and some other shit. And I don't really care for the 1911 because this is a stupid fucking like old pistol that is kind of trash compared to what they have in the game now. But I do want to unlock the GOL sniper, and I've been kind of grinding on that a little bit. It's kind of a slog, man, because I'm not the greatest at sniping. But I'm trying. I'm trying. Also, I'm almost at Specialist rank 1. That, you know, It's been a grind to get to level 100 in the game. And that last level was like a lot of XP to get to 100. And I'm almost there, though. I only got like 20,000 XP left till I get to level 100. That gives me to S1. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get to S2, probably forever. But yeah, that's Battlefield 2042 for you guys. Another game that I played, of course, was the Call of Duty beta, Modern Warfare 2 beta. Of course, I had to play this, Mayo. I ended up buying the Vault Edition on Steam. So the good thing about the Steam one is that Steam actually you launch the game via Steam, and all you have to do is link your Call of Duty account while you're in the game. Like, it'll tell you, like, hey, do you want to play with like your Activision account that you have for your other Call of Duty games? And I'm like, yes. It's like, okay, link your Call of Duty name, boom, boom, boom. You log in. It had me make a new username, which was weird because my username is Jesus Rockslot, but it had me enter it again. So I entered it and it gave it to me. And man, Modern Warfare 2 was a fucking blast. I am in love with that game. I love the modes that are in it. I like the prisoner mode where you like have to like get these there's two prisoners on the map. One team is defending them. One team is trying to go grab them. But each team only has one life. Like if you get shot and killed and downed, then you're out. But your teammates can revive you. So it's kind of like you got to kind of play strategically, right? Because like you could be down 4 guys, but then if you're able to revive your teammates, then you can get the upper hand, you know, and be able to get your teammates back up and running and get your guys back in there to fight. Also, the cool thing about that mode is that it's kind of like almost search and destroy, but a little bit better because all you have to do is kind of go and grab the prisoner. So you carry him. When you're carrying him, you can only use your sidearm as the guy carrying him, but you can still run with him. You can still run with the guy while carrying him.
Kind of like a Rainbow Six Siege situation.
Yeah, you're carrying a hostage home or whatever, right? But all you have to do is get one guy out and you win the match. So if you're able to get one of the prisoners to the extraction zone, you win the match as the people trying to get them. And you're of course, if you're the guys defending, you have to defend till the timer runs out, which is like a 2-minute timer or a 3-minute timer or something. But you defend till the time runs out, or you kill everyone on the other team, right? That's how it is, right? So cool mode there. I really enjoyed that mode. I love the game. The gunplay in this shit feels awesome. It feels like Modern Warfare, what I'm used to. The mounting is back. You can mount your shit on everything. I was mounting my gun on the walls, on the fucking plants, on the fucking window edges.
Evan was showing me too, where you're like when you're hanging from like a ledge or something like that, you can pull out a pistol and you can shoot like one-handed. Yeah. It looked kind of funny. Like the angle looked like he was kind of like dislocating his shoulder to move it around. But he's like, look at this. You can like, you know, move your pistol around. I thought that was kind of neat. Like he was hanging off of like a windowsill, I think. Yeah. And then he was like,
you can also shoot. Yeah, you can also shoot people while you're climbing up ladders. Like you pull out your pistol if you're climbing up a ladder. And that tactic is a tactic that I used a few times during the matches. People weren't expecting it, I don't think, because the game was so new that I don't think people were expecting people to do this. But what I would do is if somebody was like say I was running down the fucking, because there was a big map in the game. It was for ground war. There's like a mode called ground war, which is like 40 versus 40 actual players. And there's another mode called like war zone or like war something. And that mode is like 20 of you guys versus 20 of the other guys. But there's also like enemy AI on the team, like on the other team and your team. Like enemy AI will spawn in and they'll fly in helicopters and shit or whatever. And like in that mode, every so often a plane flies by, like a cargo plane will fly by the map and it'll drop care packages for both teams. It'll drop like 4 or 5 care packages like near your side of the spawn. And it'll drop another 4 or 5 care packages on their side of the spawn. And there's still objectives and stuff, but the goal is to like get the most kills or the most points or whatever. But there was a few times where I was running down the street on one of these, like the city map. It was like in Mexico or something, like this little village. I'm running down the street, this guy's shooting at me. I take off running back. I go around this alleyway, and he, of course, starts to chase me, right? But he wasn't expecting me to be like halfway up the ladder by the time he came around the corner. And I would just fucked him up with my pistol, man. It was like a 2-shot, 3-shot kill. And nice. I got a few people like that. It was pretty dope.
I can see that change coming to, if not already, into Warzone, right? Where you go up a ladder, but you can't exactly turn around and shoot like you can in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's fucking cool.
Could be an update.
It looked like it played really well. It looked like it's really well optimized. Evan was playing it here. I did not play because I was kind of getting ready to leave, and it was that weekend. I was kind of getting my things packed up, and like it was like the day before I left. He was when he played the most, but we kind of turned it down graphically, and it still looked really good. And I was getting like 180 frames, 170 frames. So, it looked pretty good, and it was running, and then like on max settings, I think I was getting like 110 maybe. So it seemed like it was very well optimized and looked good. And Evan was really enjoying what he played. He was playing on my PC, and he's like, "Oh, I can feel my addiction coming back." Like he was right away. He goes, "I can feel it." He's like,
me and Evan are going to be getting all the platinum guns again. I mean, oh, dude, I was so into it. And I really like that now, like if you unlock a red dot sight, it applies to all your rifles, and you can like change out the type of rifle it is. So you could be like an M4, but you can change the main part of the gun to be an M16 or to be like another type of rifle. And it'll change the like pretty much what the rifle is, but all your attachments are still there. So like if you unlock the suppressor for the assault rifles, the suppressor applies to all the assault rifles, not just the M4, you know what I mean? So that's kind of a new thing in the game where the attachments apply to all the family of weapons that you unlock the attachment in, but it doesn't apply to all the guns across the whole thing. So like you still have to unlock the suppressors for the LMGs or the suppressors for the sniper rifles. But once you unlock them, they're there for the other sniper rifles later on that you unlock as you progress your rank or whatever. The kill streaks are pretty cool. I like the bomb drone. It's like a little drone you fly around and blows people up. That one's pretty cool. I mean, there's all the basic ones are there. Like, there's a cool new airstrike that you can like target 3 different positions on the map, and it'll like these jets will fly by and just like drop missiles on these 3 different locations. There's a lot of cool shit that I like.
It looks good. It looks like it's gonna be pretty entertaining. I'll definitely be picking it up. I didn't order it. Evan ended up going ahead and pre-ordering it, so he could get in the beta like the day before the open beta hit, and then they still wouldn't let him in for some reason. So he ended up having to wait till when it was open beta. But I know he played it for like I want to say a good couple of days straight. And he was enjoying it. He was kind of disappointed at first because he couldn't get the SMG. And he found out he had to progress like through certain guns, and he had to do like something to do with he had like achievements maybe with the guns. I can't remember what he was saying, but there was something he had to do to unlock the SMG. And then he had to work his way toward it. Then he finally was able to unlock it, and that's what he was happy with.
The perk system is on a cooldown now. Kind of there's 2 perks that you get automatically, and there's 2 other perks that you're gonna get as your match goes on or whatever. So I don't know if those are based on kills or if they're based on a timer. To me, it seemed like it was a timer, because regardless if I got kills or not, there would be times where the perks would just kick in. And, so I feel like those are cool. I like them. I mean, because they put the ones that are kind of like the better perks on the timer. So they put like Hardline on a timer. They put Dead Silence on a timer and stuff like that. They put that on a timer like Ghost and stuff. But they brought back the ability system from Modern Warfare, so that's where you like press X on the keyboard and you put up a little shield, or you put up like whatever, like different things. You like a tactical insertion or whatever, or a portable jammer. You put those down. So they have that back in the game. They've added new stuff to that as well. They've added some cameras you can put down now. There's like these tactical cameras you can stick on the walls or whatever, and they'll like. It's not like Black Ops 1, where in Black Ops 1, if you put up a camera, it had like a little window on your screen that you could see the camera, what it was viewing. In this one, the cameras are like, since there's 2 of them, it'll flash red when there's something near them, like something's moving in front of them. And then you have to like click on them, or you have to like press whatever thing it is on your keyboard. And you can control the camera. You can like actually move it around and spin it around and tag people or whatever. And it's kind of a different thing. I kind of didn't like that part of it. I wish it was like a window thing, because that would be way more useful for me. You could just put that up on a window, or like you could put that on a hallway where you're sniping in a room and put that in a hallway so people can't sneak up behind you. But I look forward to playing this fucking game, man. Like, I was so into it. and I had a blast playing the beta, and I look forward to playing the campaign. And yeah, I'm glad that it's back. Modern Warfare 2, man. And it feels good.
Nice. Glad to see it's on Steam too, right? Probably because Microsoft's going to buy them anyway, so everything's going to go on Steam again. Besides the
yeah, and you can also still buy it. You can also still buy it through Battle.net, which I was going to, but as soon as I found out I could buy it on Steam, I just bought it on Steam and uninstalled Battle.net real quick. Like I was just like, yeah, uninstall Battle.net, go to Steam. Fuck this. But yeah, besides Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty and Battlefield and Bomber Crew, other games that I played recently. What else have I played? I played a little bit of that You Suck at Parking. I played a little bit of that. Not a whole bunch.
That a little more.
That game is okay. It's not the greatest. It's a fun 10-minute game for me. Like I don't want to play that for hours. I know there's people that probably do, right? And that's cool.
I've been doing like 30 minutes of it, maybe a day.
I could do like 10 minutes of it. I got bored really fast. I was like, no, I can't do more than 10 minutes of this shit. Like I can't do this no more. Fuck this. It pissed me off a few times, people crashing into me and they push me out of a parking spot, then I lose. And I'm like, what the fuck? I was just there. Like, this sucks.
You know what I find, Jesus, what I've been doing, or my strategy, this is just me, right? I haven't gotten it from any YouTube videos or anything, but like I'll try for one parking spot, and then what I'll do is, so let's say I land it right on the 10th try or whatever, and a lot of times I'm just restarting anyway. I'm just pressing the start button, restart the entire thing instead of down on the D-pad, right, which leaves the car in place. So then I'll work on the second one and the third one or whatever. Then I'm like, okay, I think I've got all three down. So then I just kind of go through it and then just try, doing it that way. Versus like, I think you get like 7 or 8 cars or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe around the total number of vehicles you get.
I was doing mostly the online, because I tried the campaign and it was kind of boring. I was like, this is fucking boring. But the online was pretty fun. It was fun coming to compete with other people. I think that's kind of why I liked Fall Guys. I like the online component of it. I don't like playing by myself, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. Why that would be. The randomness of it, of people messing up and stuff like that.
You crash into somebody, knowing that you crash into somebody on purpose. And
you ruin somebody else's game. You're like, haha, loser, this is my parking spot.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was having fun with. But what else have I've downloaded Deathloop, but I haven't launched yet. I have it both on my Xbox and on the PC. I'm probably going to play it on the PC, though, to be honest. I played so much of that game on the PS5 that I never beat it, but I played a lot of that game on the PS5, like a lot of it. And I don't even know if I want to play it again. Like, I know what it is. I've been there. I've done that. Like, yeah, it's on Game Pass. I guess it's not free. It's part of the subscription, right? But
it's that replayability. It just doesn't really feel like it.
Yeah, I've only done the first mission part of it.
And then the whole, and the thing about that, Mayo, is that the whole game is replayability. Like, you have to go back and do the same thing over and over and over.
But do you want to start over and do it all over and over and over again? You've done it once.
I've done it once. See, the funnest part for me was the online invasion, where like you go into other people's games and try to fuck them up. And I was like, I might just play that. Like, I may just get in there and just do the online multiplayer where you have to get into other people's games and fight them or whatever. But I don't feel like I want to play the campaign again. I've been there. I've done that. I never saw the end of it, which I heard that they, like, the new one that they released or whatever on the Xbox Game Pass. And I'm pretty sure the PS5 one, if you owned it, got an update as well, where they've added new content and new story details and new endings to the story or whatever. I guess maybe it's better now. Maybe I should play to see what the new ending is. But I just don't have the desire to, So there's that. But besides that, today I ended up buying Marauders on Steam. I literally played like, I want to say probably 10 minutes of it right before the show. And I don't know what the fuck that game is.
It looks like Escape from Tarkov. Me and Mayo were sitting here. I was watching. I watched a little bit of John and Michelle play.
Tarkov.
From VGO. And
it is that. It is that, but it's not that. Okay. Escape from Tarkov, you spawn in the map and you kind of know what you're doing. You're in the map looting. In this shit, you spawn in on a spaceship and you have to find another spaceship in the fucking space that you're in that you have to dock with. But during that time, while you're flying your spaceship around, there's other spaceships flying around as well. And those spaceships can shoot your spaceship. So what happened to me today, my first match that I ever played of this game, I launched in the game, right? And you're in this weird looking, like, old looking spaceship, Gunny. Like there's no windows. It looks like a piece of shit. Like everything's rusted.
It's got that third person.
So I'm looking. No, it's first person. I was walking around it and I went to the fucking. Dock, No, I was in space. It was
okay. Maybe I was watching from a different view. Okay,
you must have been, because I was inside my spaceship. All right, that's where I spawn in. I spawn in front of like this, like the cargo room, and I'm walking around and I see the thing that says engine room, and another thing that said like cargo hold, and this other thing that said like all these doors, right? And I'm trying to walk around, and I see this thing that like I finally was able to get to the front of the ship where it said like this is the pilot seat. But there's no windows, so I pressed F, and my guy sat down. It showed him sitting down and like grabbing the handles or whatever, and it zooms out, and you're outside the spaceship, and I'm flying this piece of shit looking cockroach spaceship around. Right, it's like a roach infested ship or something. I'm flying this thing around, and I'm like, cool, man. I'm gonna go find a spaceship to loot, right? Because that's what you got to do. And I'm flying around this big asteroid belt or whatever. And what do I see? I see another cockroach spaceship, Mayo. Another one. And it's flying towards me.
Get him.
It's flying at me. And I'm like, oh, I'll be cool. You know, like I'm not going to attack them. What's the first thing those motherfuckers do when they see me? Start shooting at me. So I shoot back. They keep shooting. I shoot back. They keep fucking shooting. And we're spinning in circles in space. We're shooting at each other. And it says like, it's like my shit's flashing red. It's like, hey, your whole integrity is like at 0. Your spaceship has been disabled. Like you are disabled. And I couldn't shoot my gun anymore. Like I'm just floating and my shit's on fire. So I'm like, holy fuck. Like, are these guys going to get on my ship and try to like fuck me up, right? That's probably what they're going to do, right? So what do, Mayo? I jump out of my cockpit seat or whatever, and I'm inside the spaceship and everything's on fire and the alarms are going off. And I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Like, the game never told me what to do. Like, when I launched the game, I was like, hey, watch these 50 YouTube videos on how to play the game. Like, I ain't doing that shit. I'm just going to get in and play,
you ain't got time for that, right?
Fuck your stupid 50 videos. I ain't watching Intro to Marauders, how to fly a spaceship. I ain't doing this shit, all right? I'm going to get in there and I'm going to do it myself.
I'm blind, man. You
trial by fire, Jesus.
Listen, man. I'm running around. It says, like, you have 20 minutes of oxygen left, and I'm fucking running around my spaceship, right? Everything's on fire. I go to the engine room. The engine room's on fire. I'm like, holy fuck. I ended up, like, I found this staircase. I don't even know where it was. I just found this staircase that said airlock. I was like, okay, let's go down here. Maybe that's where I have to go to get the fuck out of this stupid spaceship. And I found the airlock, and it was like, well, you cannot open the airlock because you're not docked to any spaceship or like any other vessel. Like you have to be docked to be able to open the airlock. And I'm like, okay, well that fucking makes sense. I'm like, okay, so how do I escape this ship that's about to blow up or whatever? And I found the escape pod, Mayo. I found it.
What?
So there was an escape pod and I jump into it's like, this is the emergency escape pod. I fucking jump in it, dude. My guy's jumping in. He's all closing the hatch and shit all hella fast. And it's like, boom, it shoots me out, like out of my spaceship, like in this little paw thing. And now like I'm in another tinier spaceship, but this one has like no guns, but it has like a booster thing that could boost you really fast. So like I'm assuming to like get you away from danger or whatever.
Right, I can get away.
So I boosted myself out of there. I flew around space. I found this big space station looking thing, but I couldn't figure out how to get inside of it, man. I was like, I got to dock on this thing at least once to see what's in there and then like learn how to play this shit, right? Because I got to get in there and loot something. I don't know. I couldn't find the docking station or whatever, so I flew around in circles, and then I flew to like this fucking, I don't know, it looked like the fucking thing from Mass Effect or something. Like it was like a portal looking thing. It was glowing orange or something. And I flew into it and it was like, hey, you successfully escaped.
Oh, yeah. I saw that on Twitch, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I escaped. And it was like, you didn't loot anything, but you escaped with your life.
But you lived.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the Tarkov exit, kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you got some XP for this or whatever.
Good job,
so it sounds like you've got to escape twice, it seems like, where they do have like an airlock I saw in just watching it from the game. And then, you know, boom, you're in your ship, you fly away, then you fly into that thing you talked about, that, what is that thing called in Mass Effect? But you don't exactly dock with it.
Yeah. It's like a circle thing. You just fly into it and it says you escaped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess
it's kind of like you're part of a bigger...
Once you figure out how to dock, you could have went to that bigger place and maybe looted some, you know, and then...
Oh, yeah, because like
maybe stole another ship or something, and maybe you could have kept going, kind of thing. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, the game said, like, when I first launched it said, like, invite your friends. You can play with up to, like, 4 players at a time, right? But I was by myself. I don't know, maybe if having 4 people, maybe there could be a guy, like, on the guns, and, you know, one guy gunning and shooting the things while I'm flying around, and maybe another guy repairing or something. I don't know. But pretty much, this is like Escape from what I gathered. This is Escape from Tarkov in space, but you're docking on different space stations, or like either they're going to be abandoned ships or like other just regular ships or other players' ships that you're docking onto, and you're going to loot them and fight them and take their shit. It sounds cool as fuck to me, so I'm like, yes, I want to do this. I want to be in space. I want to fuck people up. I want to be a space pirate. I want to fuck everybody up. So I want to play this game. If somebody's playing this, hit me up. I want to play this with you. But yeah, maybe you should get this mail. It's only like $30 on Steam or whatever. It's early access.
Yeah, it's got just a small hint of, I would say, a little bit of Fallout, not vibes, but more.
It looks like it's sort of
a little Bioshocky almost, but but not quite.
Yeah, it looks more like Bioshock. Yeah, you're right. Where like the weird valves everywhere and like steam pipes.
Yeah, the style of the doorways and stuff.
But
color palette.
Yeah, so I tried that today, and that looks kind of cool, man. So I look forward to playing more of that. Also, World War III went free to play this week.
I heard that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Finally went free to play.
Kind of
I've been seeing like 20 players consistently on Twitch.
Yeah, he said he jumped on and had a hard time finding a match. And I'm like, that's something that we kind of were worried about initially, but we was hoping since it was free to play, you know, when we were playing, it was a little harder. But now that it's free to play, you thought it would have been a little bit better. He said he was having a hard time finding a match. So I don't know.
I think that was just based on the match on the servers or whatever, because I think the servers.
You got to spin up more servers if they're going to make it a free to play. Come on.
Right now the player count is 4,000 players. I mean, that's pretty. Yeah. I would say that's enough to find good matches.
Yeah, I would think.
Because I mean, when I tried playing it a few weeks ago, it was at 98 players. So I mean, 4,000 from 98 is a big jump. The highest peak was pretty recent. I think they reached like 10,000 players recently, not that long ago, or like 11,000 players. This was like on September 30th or 31st. So there's that.
Yeah, a popular Twitch streamer was probably playing.
The game is it's weird, man, because I jumped back into it, right? I re-downloaded it. I was playing it, and I played a little bit of Tactical Ops. I played like maybe 2 matches or 3 matches of it, and I don't know. I used to be way better at the game, man. I don't know what the fuck it was that I was doing wrong, but it felt really hard to shoot. But it's a good-looking game for a free game, and I really want to play more of it, right? Because obviously, I mean, I paid for the beta before or whatever, so I kind of want to get in there and keep playing it and unlock some stuff. The cool thing about the unlocks in that game, or like I would say people would call them pay to win microtransactions, but they're not pay to win. All the microtransactions really are mostly, for the most part, cosmetic like microtransactions. So yes, you can buy things for your guy that make him look different or whatever. And I guess if you want to say they're like a pay to win, I guess the one thing that's pay to win is the kill streaks. You can pay a certain amount of money or ticket or gold or whatever the fuck it is you get in the game to unlock blueprints like the bigger bomber plane or the little helicopter thing you fly around or the tank or whatever. Like you can unlock those earlier if you buy the blueprint for it or whatever, right? So you can use them earlier.
That would have been nice to have the tank or the drone early on.
Yeah.
Not the drone, but what is it? That little toy truck or whatever that's called.
Yeah, I don't plan to do that. I mean, I don't know if I got anything from being a beta member. I'm assuming we got something, right? Like some kind of badge or gear or something for being a beta.
I'll hop on and look.
But yeah, the one downside to the game was the download speed. When I went to download it, it obviously, even on Steam, it has you download their like launcher thing, and then it downloads the game from that launcher. So the initial download is like 100 megabytes from Steam, but then once you launch the launcher, it has you download the actual game, which is like 80 gigs or 50 gigs or whatever. But the download speed on that was horrendous, man. I don't know if it was because it was like that one night where everyone was playing last week, but I was trying to download this game and it literally took like 2 hours to download. I started the download like at 6 p.m. I didn't get to play till like 8:30, dude.
Wow.
It was bad. It was like really, 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 really slow download speed. So I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? And like, even to like, I was like, man, did I pay my internet bill this month?
make you question.
Yeah, I'm over here. Like, I even went to Google and started doing like speed test and shit. And like, fuck, my speed test was like 900, 800, 900 megabytes, 1,000. I was reaching the gig speed, and like the game was downloading for shit. Like it was just like super slow. And like, I know it wasn't my like PC because I had just downloaded some Steam updates and those were like zip fast, man, like 10 seconds, 5 seconds. Like a fucking Battlefield 3 50 gig update was like a minute. You know what I mean? Like it was fast. So I'm like, it's not my computer. So what the fuck is going on here? And I don't know. Like I said, maybe their servers just really are trash. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Maybe that's why your friend was having issues with.
I remember with Conan Exiles. I almost said Barbarian. Yeah, like it kind of does that same thing, where Mayo, you would know more about that, right? Where they don't, where they say to Steam, like, hey, look, we're going to have our own kind of launcher, but, they download it off of our client, not the Steam client.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, because I was like, hey, what happened? Like, oh, I think like he was telling me initially, it goes off of their server, so game files.
Well, Jesus, I'm installing it right now.
Okay.
I launched did the initial Steam download, and I'm doing the World War III launcher download now. And it says like 40 minutes right now. So
it's not bad. You might be closer to their server station.
Yeah, I mean, I paid for 1,000 meg down, so I have pretty good internet down. But right now,
I do too. It's just
I'm only getting like the bigger the 25 down right now, but it was at times 7, so it's like 200 down right now. So
yeah, I don't know. It's really bad sometimes. So I don't know. Anyways, that's all I played this week, and I will continue to play some more World War III. I look forward to playing some. Actually, I was thinking about getting Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is coming out tonight.
Was that tonight? Also, my son was talking about that.
Yeah, saw that on Twitter.
I don't know if I seen it in the news. I don't think I linked it to Gunny, but I guess they're saying, so if you don't have, like, I don't know if the characters from 1 will be missing or not, but they said you'll have to play 100 matches to get the characters from the first one. So maybe that'll unlock all of them from the first one, but I did run across an article talking about that. So
is it free to play? I don't know.
Yes, it is free to play.
Okay.
Yeah. Overwatch 2 is free to play, and like it comes out tonight or tomorrow, actually. It says here that the servers will go live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, and that Overwatch 1 is shut down as of tonight. So I think they already shut down Overwatch 1. The servers are offline. So, but if you had credits in Overwatch 1, they will carry over to your Overwatch 2 account.
My son was telling me he watches a bunch of streamers, and I think it's XQC. I guess he played a lot, and he was taking pride in like having like 1,500 like loot boxes or something like that. He was telling me, and he never opened them. But the game, I guess, automatically makes you open them all now. So it opened them all for him. And he was so mad. He was like, oh, no. So he had all these boxes that he never opened. He was wanting to keep them closed. And it opened them all because I guess it's probably going to open them and then, like, I don't know if it'll liquidate them and turn them into credits or, your items, or if the items will transfer or what, or how that'll work. But yeah, it opened everything he had and he was trying to keep them closed on purpose. So I guess he was a little disappointed in that.
I look forward to playing some Overwatch, man. Overwatch is fun.
I don't know if I ever played that game.
I've never played the first one really. I owned it and then I never really played it. So maybe I'll try to jump on this one.
It was a cool game, man. Like, it's cool to play with friends, and I always felt like the characters, if played well, would really play well to each other's abilities. Like if your teammates picked like a healer and an assault guy and a defender guy and whatever, like if you guys all played your role, the game could be a lot of fun. I was playing the shit out of it a few years ago when the first one came out. So yeah. Anyways, I'm done. What have you been playing, Gunny or Mayo? Whichever one. Go.
No, I can go ahead.
Let's see.
My list is somewhat short since I was on vacation. But before vacation, the week before there, I actually went through and I finished the Spider-Man remaster, the campaign, on the PC. So I finally beat the whole story behind that. And I thought I had a little further to go because it said I was like 65% complete or something like that. So I jump in the game and all of a sudden it's like, you like reached a point of no return. You probably remember that. You're like, you're getting ready to go do the final fight. You need to do all your upgrades now that you're going to do because they're not going to be available for the rest of the game. I'm like, what? And then I go and do the final fight versus Doc Ock, and I'm like, oh, wow. I was kind of going by the percentage, and so I thought I had like a ways to go. And, here I was at the end of the game already. I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay. So I guess, there's a lot of items I can go back and collect, all the backpacks and the pigeons and all that kind of stuff. And I may go back in and do that, but not like anytime soon. I did not play any of the DLC content. It does show like a progression on those, and I haven't started any of those. So maybe I'll jump back in and at least do that DLC content. What was it, like the Black Cat stuff or something like that? I can't remember who it was, but there's just like two DLCs that came with it. But it was a good time. I still enjoy that game. Like I said, I'm glad I finally got to play it on PC, and that was one of those games when I was really looking forward to playing. Like if I ever bought a PlayStation or whatever, that's probably would be like one of the first games I would have picked up because, it just seemed like it was such a good game and the fun of it and the swinging around, But besides that, I continue to play a little bit of Dungeon Defenders, and I'm pretty rusty in that game still. Just trying to jump in and play it on the second degree of the 2BC difficulty, so it's basically on very hard. They've added a lot of new weapons and added some new things.
Are you playing with other people? Right?
No. On Dead Cells is by itself. Okay. Just trying to get used to playing that again. I've come close a couple times and beating it still, but just getting the feel for it again I need to get there. I guess they rebalanced it, and Vader Holic was saying it was a little bit easier, so they do give you some health blast in between. But I've died on my way there, like exploring new areas or trying to play around with some new weapons and stuff like that, and figuring out how they work and stuff. So more or less exploring, seeing all the new items that they put into the game, more than actually trying to really beat the 2BC. But I need to try to grind out on that. And then just the last thing I started playing, was on Evan's PS5. I kind of moved some things around in the living room and got the TV a little closer to the couch where it feels a little better playing on the TV, so I'm not so far away. And I fired up Ratchet and Clank on his PS5 while he's still here. So I'm like, I'm trying to take advantage of that while it's here.
Really take advantage of it, of course.
Yeah, and enjoying that a little bit.
You got your own controller, don't you?
I do. I do not have it synced up to his PlayStation, but I've been using his. But the game is, I don't know, Jesus. I can only take it in like increments. Like I'll play for a while, then I start getting a little bored. I'm like, okay, this is kind of getting repetitive, kind of in my opinion. And then after that, I would put it down. And like the next day, I'd be like, oh man, I'm going to kind of play that for a little while. Then I'll fire it up and I'll maybe put like a half hour or an hour into it. And then I'll be like, okay, this is getting kind of repetitive. I'm going to turn it off for a little while. So I don't know if you had that feeling or not playing it, but...
Not really.
No? Okay. I mean, it could just be me. Like I said, just a lot of running, shooting, and like story-wise, I'm just kind of have an idea of what's going on, and the aspect of, doing the rifts and gathering parts. Or like, hey, we need to go find the part I'm at where you have to find the fixer. You have this crystal you're trying to get, and he has to put it all together. I went and did all that already. But stuff like that, like I know what's going on, but when they start introducing characters, there's like a pirate, and there's like another guy, and they're like, oh, this is such and such. I have no idea who these guys are because I didn't play any of the other games, So, and and then there was it with the Wombats, I think they're called, and then there's the girl, and then there's Ratchet and Clank, what is it, Rivet, I think is her name.
Yeah.
But, so like all that stuff is just kind of foreign to me. So I'm just like, okay, so that coolness is not there, but the gameplay itself is really fun. It's very smooth. It plays very well. I don't know what kind of frame rate it's at. I'm assuming just at 60. I don't think it had the 4K 120 option or anything like that. But either way, I'm just on a regular HDMI cable anyways, hooking it to my TV. But it's been good. The rift thing kind of feels very predetermined. Like how it just has like a rift, and you just gotta kind of latch onto it by hitting the L1, and it kind of just teleports you through the rift. I wish you could I kind of had the impression early on that you could open the rift whenever you wanted and just kind of bounce around, but it's more predetermined. You can bounce around when you see them, but they're only there when they're there. And it's sometimes they were like part of the puzzle, like you had to go to the rift on one dimension and go through a doorway because it was blocked in the other dimension, and then you warp back to the other dimension once you get through the doorway, kind of thing. So just kind of like it have been puzzle solving for me for the most part so far. There has been a couple times where you were doing fighting where some enemies be up on a ledge and there'd be a rift beside them, and you can go into it and teleport to where they're at instead of trying to like shoot them from a distance and stuff. But most of it's, been fairly predetermined. So I wish that game could have just had that opportunity where you could just open a rift anytime you want and jump into something alternate. Would be kind of neat, but overall, it's been a good game. I think I'm about 35%, maybe 40% through it. So I'm going to continue to play that this week. I'm going to try to finish that campaign.
Are you playing like on your profile sort of thing, not Evan's? Is that something you're trying to keep your progression going?
I'm on Evan's profile, but it has different save files. So when he beat the game, he had like the number one save file, and then there's like cool. There was a lot. There was like maybe like 10 save files, and so I'm just on the second save file. So I was able to just launch the game new, and then. Now I got to see a little bit, Jesus, just of him playing. I launched it the one time, I mentioned it a while back, Ghost of Tsushima. He relaunched it. He ended up buying the PS5 edition because he had the PS4 edition, so he started messing with that game again. And when I launched it from his playthrough he was doing, I just jumped in his game one time. It was like all black and white, so he showed me how to switch it, it was in a mode. And then, so I got to see what the game looked like in color, a big difference there. Compared. Yeah. Especially in the OLED, I wanted to see the game in all of its glory, all of its color and stuff. So
got to see those cherry blossoms in the wind.
Game looks good. I just watched him play just a little bit, and so maybe I'll fire that one up here right after Ratchet and Clank and maybe get a little bit of playing time in. He was telling me today that I guess it was announced it's coming to PC next year.
Oh, right. One of the last ones that are holding out, right?
Yeah, it didn't really surprise me. That's something exclusive. That was one of their big sellers. So yeah, I see it. I could see it coming. And then
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be exciting to see. And will be definitely a game I'll pick up again. So, but that's pretty much been it. Besides vacation and just kind of being on the run. I did.
The run, holding Evan captive. Good deal. Vacation. Kind of locked up the whole time while you're on vacation. That's cool.
Yeah, I kept him here with the dog. Told the dog to keep an eye on him, not let him out of the bedroom. And he was he's locked in his room, and so. But
nice. Did you play that game I recommended to you, Mayo, called Moonscars?
No, I did not. I seen it on Game Pass. I did not start it yet. I
played probably 40 minutes of it. It wasn't on my list, but I was just thinking about when you were mentioning Dead Cells. Yeah, it looks like that, that oil painting kind of hand drawn, has that sort of look to it. Not as good as like a Dead Cell, geez. Now I'm gonna mix up games here. Dead Cells, but yeah, I don't know. It seemed a little confusing, and they kind of do some things with where it's just kind of like a tutorial, basically starting out. You've got amulets, you've got a sword, right? That sort of thing, and side scrolling, same controller configuration as Dead Cells. As far as dash goes, and jump up, hold if you're playing with like a controller like I am with an Xbox controller, hold the left stick down and press A, and that'll do like the ground slam. Do damage to the enemies. So, I couldn't, it didn't play like, where it had doors and different things you can go through, but I don't know. It just had that same concept, and I don't know if I would go back to it. Maybe if I saw more gameplay, like, you can do a lot more and there's different enemies, and maybe I'd get into it more. So, but as much as I play Dead Cells, but you'll just see me randomly playing that game. Like, fuck, I'll be playing that for like 45 minutes,
Dead Cells is just so good. I mean, that game just...
Right, because you can do a lot of grinding in that game. Not grinding, but just go through, I'll just go through that first dungeon like I have for the last couple of years, Like,
there's
I've
just
had my
so
fun
much
with this
to that
game.
Yeah, like once you actually beat it again, and like I said, you unlock higher difficulties, and there's actually, once you beat the 5th cell, it unlocks like a whole new world. So like you can beat the game and you have like an end boss, but once you beat it the 5th time on the harder difficulties, because you can up the difficulty, almost like, let's call it a new game plus. So they'll call it like 1 BC, 2 BC. It'll be like a new game plus kind of thing. So as you keep beating it, you keep your progression. So when you beat it on these higher difficulties, when you get to the 5th one, once you beat the final boss, there's a whole other set of worlds, or another world behind it. It's like 3 more levels you've never played before until you beat it on the 5th hardest difficulty. So I've been always wanting to go there because it has a whole new last boss and everything. So it adds to the storyline, and there's enemies and stuff in there I've never seen and never gotten a fight against. So
yeah, I think I don't even remember if you talked about that when we were sitting here before recording the show. It could have been a couple of weeks ago. You were playing the DLC, something you may have spoken about, but I don't remember. Like, okay, that looks way too hard for me and difficult, and I don't think I'll ever make it that far or want to,
Yeah, and mainly what they do, trying to get like, there. As the difficulty gets higher, you take more damage when you get hit, and then they rearrange all the enemies. So maybe the first level that you're used to, they add new type of enemies in there that you have to deal with. So it changes the way that level plays, because now you have enemies that can shoot through walls, or certain ones that respond certain ways. They'll put a flame all the way across the ground, so you have to know to watch out for those kind of guys and stuff like that. And so they add harder enemies that you have to deal with.
Yeah, so on top of that, one of the cool things that I remember you talking about was, and I remember you picked it up, was you do get a health flask. So for them to really, turn this game on its head and do that to you, right? Because your brain's kind of used to that certain way of playing this game, and you know where the enemies are and what to do, and yeah, you're going to need a health flask. So.
Yeah, and then with the mode I was playing on, they would only give you a little one every like 2 levels or 3 levels or something like that. Now they give it to you every level, so it makes it a little bit better. But you still have to get through the levels all dying. There's levels where you can just get beat up on pretty quick. So.
Yeah, but check that game out. Moon Scars.
Yeah, I have it downloading as well.
Yeah, check that out. So. Who knows? I might go back to more of it. So I'd have to see more gameplay to just kind of get me back into it. So
I also did play, actually, just looking at my Xbox account, I did play a little bit of Metal Hellsinger. I was excited for that game when it came out, and I only played about as far as the tutorial was last time. So haven't gotten real far into it. Still enjoying it. Now I definitely want to go back and play that some more on my PC. So, and that's that Doom-like game with you shoot into a rhythm, and and you got some bosses and stuff, and
me and Doom don't seem to really mix too well. I remember I talked about that back last holiday, just how gorgeous that game looks and just how much I suck at it. And like, I don't know. It was just too hard for me. I don't know, the controls and the shooting, and I got frustrated really easy with it, or I got bored. I don't know which one.
For me, the biggest thing about Doom was at the time, like, you had to use a certain kind of weapon on certain kind of enemies. And so you just wanted to focus, because it would throw a bunch of enemies at you at once. And you just kind of wanted to focus on certain enemies at a time. You didn't want to shoot everybody that was in front of you. You'd want to kill the little grunts because they would give you health and ammo. You would kill those guys to keep yourself going. But you would only want to focus on one major enemy at a time. And then switch a weapon up and stuff like that. It's kind of what made it way easier for me.
Yeah, but that Doom that came before it, I forgot what that one was called.
Yeah, like the 2018 one or 2016.
2018, is that what it is? I always call it Doom 2018. But it was good. Like, I liked how grounded it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might have been a few puzzly things where you have to jump across something, but other than that, like, I was, I don't know. I just don't like to jump around too much. Like Doom Eternal was just, it was like way too much for my brain to handle. So, but another game, man, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I think it's Proteus, which is on Game Pass. Remember I played that? I played it a couple more times without talking about it, and it's still really good. It just has that old school Doom feel to it. And it looks old, right? But it's a newer game with, less quality graphics. So, another game I recommend for you guys to play. I know it's on Steam and probably on PlayStation as well. So, but moving on to other stuff that I've been playing. Conan Exiles. Tried to get into that today, but I'll talk about that later because I did work a longer week. But yeah, I'm well over like level 103 now, which I don't know. It probably goes to like, I think Leahy's like, I don't even know what level he is. He's probably like 800 or something. He's so far up there. 1,000 hours in, right? So it's a time sink. But still having a really good time. Again, playing with all the different crafting tables, and it just a lot of things to do in the game, right? So go kill enemies, craft things, make better armor and gear, and explore. Last week, Leahy took me on a dungeon run. Because I had a fast travel point unlocked. There's different areas where, once you have them unlocked and you've got the right, you got to have another world thing to actually like do some fast travel. So, but again, everything's built for me, which is nice, right? I can just go and kind of go up to it, fast travel to the point I need to go to for whatever specific reason. But either way, like the dungeon run was pretty cool. We went in, just me and him, and it was probably easier because it was just the both of us, and the fact that he's so high powered, I let him do a lot of the killing. So, I can kind of sit back or take smaller enemies and, without using something to heal up. So, yeah, like the gear that he got me, which is like, what is it? The black armor. I think that's actually the name, black armor, right? So pretty high rated. And, so, one of the things that Leahy was able to do was like you put this padding on the armor and it makes it lighter, right? Because somebody at a lower level with, less stamina, I'm going to be like a walking tank, So, but now I can actually unlock, that stuff's unlocked for me now. So I can either go in and craft it, and probably I want to do more dungeon runs, and they were pretty quick. So, because Leahy's like, I remember the way to go and exactly which door to turn in and what to grab and boom, boom, boom. So I ended up like falling off a ledge at the very end. And it was a lot of fun. He's like, no, Gunny, you're good. You're good to go. We can actually, fast travel back to, well, you don't have to fast travel back. You can, playing on PC, I play with an Xbox controller. You can just press, the enter button. It brings you to the chat space, home or whatever, boom, and it just takes you right back to your base. Pretty easy. So it's just kind of getting to those locations is, can be challenging, right? If you don't have a, good horse, or you don't want to lose your horse.
Right.
So that is one thing where that happened to me last week. Like, he made me a real nice horse. I had a beautiful saddle for it, and I took it out to this snowy area, but I wasn't exactly wearing the armor that Leahy made for me, because some of it was already degraded, right? So I had to take it off, put some of that in my chest, and I'm kind of using a mixed match of stuff, right? So I probably had like maybe half of the armor on. So like, what's going on? Why, I'm freezing to death, like, what am I supposed to do? But my horse ended up going down on like a sheet of ice, into the ocean, or into the water. I fell in the water. And just instantly died, and tried to go back for my horse, which that means I had to run all the way back over there. I ended up dying of frostbite, It's like, so I'm messaging Leahy like, I lost the horse. I'm really sad. My horse's name was Magoo. So not Mr. Magoo, just Magoo. And yeah, I missed my horse, man. It was not a good time. So, but what was weird is trying to think of other games where you ever die somewhere, right? But then there's a marker on the map, right? Where it'll show like a little grave of, in my situation, it'll say, what does it say? Not unclaimed loot or whatever, but that's where you died, right? That's the marker on the map. So
right.
I remember I was in a chat with Ghost Nico, and I think he was playing on the same server at the same time, but I'm headed for it. I didn't exactly mark it because it's already marked on the map. And I probably got halfway there and it disappeared. So I wonder if that's on a timer.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm thinking it's a timer because how like what game is it? If you die again, boom.
It's just gone, right?
That first one will disappear and the new one appears. So I'm like, no. So crap. But I still went up there anyway. And that's where I died the second time of frostbite. I was like, you froze to death. Good job. So, but one of the good things is, a lot of all that stuff that you collect along the way, you still bring it back with you, right? You don't lose it. If anything that's going to be on your body, I don't know. It's going to be like, it could be like a couple pieces of wood or some fiber, really just meaningless stuff, right? All the good stuff that you picked up, goes back to your, to your base when you respawn. So that's good, right? Otherwise I would get so frustrated with this game, or I wouldn't want to venture out. So, but yeah, and I finally got in with Leahy late one night last week, and he was like, yeah, you got to wear the whole gear, man. And then you can go through the mountains if you want to, but I don't suggest it because a lot of dangerous animals up here and creatures that, that'll kill you pretty quick. So I think I was going after some precious metals to bring back for, kind of keep our stock going, for that high armor. But he's like, yeah, I'll level up first and stay out of the mountains. And yeah, don't bring your horse up there. So I'm like, yeah, good deal. I won't do that anymore. So, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still feeling the grind of just going out and somewhere near the base and just killing a bunch of spiders and fucking, other beasts that are out there that are easy to get. So, at the same time, if I have other objectives, like personal objectives, right? Like, oh, I want to get a lot of, I know the spot where it's got some good metals to it, or some other resource that we might need. So it's been fun. So it's been fun. I wanted to go back into it today, but for some reason, Mayo, I don't know what it was, but I don't even think I've seen any videos. I'm like, oh, Elden Ring still installed. I haven't played that in a while. So yeah, and of course I clicked on that. I think it was yesterday, and just like, man, it just sucked me right back in again. Like I went out, killed like a boss, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a fucking God, playing this game, right?
I keep thinking about easy. Maybe picking that game up yet, because I never did pick it up when it was new. It's still like, I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe I should just pick it up, put it on the PC. If you ever got into Skyrim or something, right? But, a little Elder Scrolls-y kind of, sort of, right? Except without all the lore in the books, right? I mean, there's lore,
but not to the, there's nothing really to, it's not like, I don't know, it just has that feel to it. Right. But
right. I just know it's a really long game.
So.
I think it can be a long game, and part of the fun is
I think
exploring the world and stuff like that. That sounds fun. But like, I don't know if I have time, to finish it because there's a lot of stuff coming out here pretty soon.
Yeah, that's where I have a lot of fun, right? Really exploring and, without watching any YouTube. What the hell is that? Is that a fucking, it's one of those giant things. Oh, I want to go kill it, assuming it's not like a boss, right? Like it's one of those big giant things. I'm going to own this thing, boom, go kill it. And sometimes, I will go out and like, I have an objective. I know where I need to go to, get a certain item or something and kind of bypass a lot of enemies, that, that would be a good example. But man, today I was like, there were 2 bosses that I wanted to kill. So I put on some better armor. Now I've unlocked the, like this snowy area. And man, like just the little enemies in there that are in there are like, feel like they're twice as hard versus like, in the south, right? So the southern area of the map. So I'm like, oh my gosh, these things are rough. But yeah, moving on to like the bosses, there was like where it was like this, the hell was it called? Boreal fucking like snow dragon or some shit, right? And man, that thing, like once it like blows this frost on you, that's it. Like, boom, you're just dead. Unless it just barely touches you, you might lose half your health. Of course I'm looking at on YouTube and I'm like, all right, so how do you choose this boss? Okay, that was 6 weeks ago. That's been patched, so can't do that. Second video I watched was, well, you just have to like stay on your horse and kind of stay behind it, dodge that tail when that thing whips around, and try not to get in front of it because there's nothing really to protect you from, that frost, man. It'll, once that frost buildup happens, like, doesn't matter how much health you have, like you're just dead. Or, what's it? Yeah. Anyway, so I tried both of those, probably went at it about 6 times. And yeah, I think I just have to like really just dodge the tail of that thing. And I think I could finally get it. I get it about halfway down. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely using potions and, extra fire damage and all this stuff, that I'm, I've got my, Ash of War out, right? Which I've got a pretty good Ash of War. I don't even know what it is. It's just some creature out there that, not a creature. I think the one I currently have is just like a big soldier with a sword. So, but he's real agile and, he'll dodge, attacks from whatever enemy you're trying to fight. So, I don't know. Knowing me, I'm not going to go grind other places. I'm still going to keep going back to it. So, and the other boss that I'm fighting in Elden Ring, gosh, what is it now? I forgot his name, but another one I just get halfway down in health, kills my Ash of War really fast. And yeah, so it's like, but he brings out 3 other soldiers at once, this other boss. So yeah, it was not good. I ended up like, not breaking the controller, but just setting it down going, fuck it, I quit this game, And so I was like, all right, let me just quit out of here, quit out of here. And I'm like, I went and played some Pinball Effects 3. I was like, oh, this is something, as I'm gritting my teeth here, still seething over Elden Ring. Yeah, so I that really calmed me down playing some Pinball Effects. Played a few tables, had a blast. I don't even know if I have like a favorite in Pinball Effects 3. Because they're all so good, right? And some I'm like just not into, but there's so freaking many because Ryan just has them all on lock. He's bought them all. So, yeah, really good. Didn't beat any high scores, Ryan. So don't worry about that. You don't have to go back in and check leaderboards on all of them. So, yeah, I think the next time I go in, I'll probably just play all the Star Wars. There's like, I don't know, 16 Star Wars tables or more actually. So, yeah. And then guess what, Mayo? Right? As we're talking about, what time we're recording tonight, of course, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back into Elden Ring and try that boss again.
Right.
When I told myself I wasn't. And of course, I get my ass handed to me both times, And yeah, I was like, why did I do that? What's wrong with me? So, fuck this game, So, yeah. But I did do some exploring, Mayo, and unlock some more save points, which are called, what are they called? Touch of Grace? Something like that?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I know. I've found so many of those. But they're just like little save points around the map. You can fast travel too. So, but yeah, good times playing that. Oh, guess what I did, guys? I put my Audible. I love Audible, by the way. I listen to it every night. All kinds of books, mostly fiction, space operas, zombie thrillers. Yeah, but I did put my Audible subscription on hold for now. It's like $28 a month or whatever. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go with PlayStation Plus. I've been wanting to do that. So some of the games I've been really wanting to play, I'm like, well, I'm not going to go buy it for, 20, 30, $40 a piece, right? Like I would, because that's what I normally do on Xbox. So, hey, $14.99 a month, right? Can't go wrong. It's just like Game Pass. Similar, right? It's got a library of games to it. So, but I'll see, what did I play in that subscription? I really didn't spend a whole lot of time like in the catalog, but one of the games that I did play was, I think it was John Wick's Hex. Mayo, you played this game, right?
No, I don't think so.
I think when it first came out, it might have been an Epic or a Steam thing, but yeah, it didn't really grab me. I know it's on Xbox. I don't know if it's on Game Pass or not, but I thought, oh, I'll just download this for the PlayStation Plus. So yeah, it's what am I thinking? It's not like an XCOM, right? It's just more, it's that you kind of move your guy, you move John like slowly, right? Just up a couple increments, and then maybe an enemy will appear, right? Where you couldn't see him, coming around a corner. And so then, right, you kind of get your, what am I thinking of? It's not exactly, almost turn-based, but not. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but I mean, obviously if you moved up more without shooting the enemy, right? Enemy's going to shoot at you, right? So yeah, I don't know. I didn't quite like that. So, right. You can reload, shoot your gun, or you can do like a melee attack against the enemy, right? If you're super close enough. So I don't know. It just seems like you had to play the game not all the way through, but kind of know where the enemies are going to come out. Yeah, I don't know. I only played like the first mission of it or whatever. So, but it was a little bit of a tutorial, right? I didn't die immediately, but yeah, not something I think I'm going to go back to. So, let's see. But other thing I played on PlayStation Plus was Infamous Second Son. I've always wanted to play that game. I've heard Xbox, talk about that game, like how great it is, on PlayStation. And I've had this PlayStation 4 Pro for, quite a while, and I'm like, man, I think it's time to actually...
Yeah, I don't remember you mentioning actually playing it anytime recently. Like, it's been a minute.
Yeah, no, I think that's...
right?
I'm trying to think back when we first started the show, if I had that PS3 at the time, if I even played it then, but I don't think I've played any Infamous games. And I know it's a great series, and isn't that made by... Sucker Punch, the people that did what's the game that Evan plays all the time? I was playing it recently, that you were playing, Mayo, in the black and white.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima? Yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima. So I think it's the same studio that makes this. So yeah, graphics look great, even though it's probably an older game or whatever. So I don't know. I want to play all three of them. I want to get through it. So played a couple hours of that. And that's pretty cool. So I like the powers in the game. And yeah, I think the best thing about it is I don't know a lot about it other than what people have talked about. So I haven't watched playthroughs or anything. So I want to keep it that way and go through that. So maybe play the third one and then go back and play the original. So, but that's my plan for PlayStation Plus, and probably, you know, I own Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima, and yeah, some of the other ones. So, oh, I think what's the second game for Spider-Man? I want to say that was in the PlayStation. I think that's in the PlayStation Plus catalog. Pretty sure it's in there. So I could be wrong, but I can get in there and play that as well. So, but over on the Xbox side of things, I either play on Xbox Game Pass PC or the console itself. So it's a little bit of a mixture of both, right? So Deathloop, I think I played on PC with an Xbox controller. Again, I talked about that. Just do the first mission. Kind of funny. I like the banter between Colt and, you know, the woman who's behind the voice or whatever. Like, are we dating? You know, like, it's funny. You know, are you trying to kill me?
Right.
Yeah, I think we've dated before, as she tries to, you know, seem like she's trying to kill him with something, but yeah, seems humorous at first. So anyway, more You Suck at Parking. Talked about that. I still have a blast with that, just in the campaign. So I've unlocked Island 3. Jesus, I'm on the 3rd island or something. So I've already went through and completed all of those. So I don't know. I think, remember at first I wasn't on board with like the physics of that. Like, I don't know, magnets and fans and all this shit. What the hell? But I was like, no, I'm actually really good at this. So, you know, it takes me a couple tries. Okay, more than a couple. But hey, I'm a truck driver, man. I've got skills as I rip around those corners and, you know, not touch the rails, because you will blow up if you touch one of those in certain sections. But yeah, good stuff there. So kind of feels like a Trials Fusion game. A little bit of that, and even a little Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but more on a different view. So I don't know. It feels like a skater game in a way, or a Trials game. So, except with a little car. Yeah. The other thing I did yesterday, guys, was finally, after probably it has to be at least a year now, where I've talked about on the show before, I wanted to go back in and finish that New York DLC for Division 2, playing that on Xbox. And so finally I did get a Johnny Dalt and Vetterholic. We all jumped in together yesterday and started playing that, because it doesn't let me go back to the main part of the game, right? The bigger, larger map Mayo that we've always played. It's like, nope, you've got to finish the DLC first. You're like 92%. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, all right. So, of course, Andrew, Johnny Don't jumps in. I think he was like level 38 or 38 and a half or whatever. Okay, well, let's try and grind it out. So, because Vetterholic had already finished it. He was like level 40. I think that's kind of where you cap out. And then you just, you know, the replayability is, you know, you're adding power to your weapons, you know, better weapons, higher gear scores, stuff like that. So there's the carrot on the stick for that. Yeah, so we tried to get him there. I think he didn't quite make it to 39. Andrew left, and then me and Vetterholic got in there, and pretty easy to get to the end boss, I felt, you know. But man, once we got to the end, it was like, you know, you got to stand in this area within this circle, right? While we're shooting drones at you that plant themselves and immediately start either shooting rounds at you, or, you know, or it's like a flamethrower, you know? So, and at the same time, there's like a missile battery. You have to shoot that in a certain section at the same time. So I'm like, all right. But man, like, just between the two of us, I think we finally got it on like the 5th or 6th time, because it was like, okay, so after you get to the 2nd circle or the 3rd circle, you know, either one or both of us has to run completely to the other side of this missile battery. And I think you've got like 15 seconds to shoot at a certain section of it before the timer goes off. And then boom, like, you know, the last guy we're trying to kill, you know, he comes out, and of course he's like a tank, right? Looks like a regular dude, but his, you know, a bullet sponge, you know, trying to kill him. I think, man, like at one point it was really intense, because I was down to like one little sliver of health, and Betterholic was like, he went down. I was like, no. So I was like, this is like our 7th try here, but man, I got him up. We all healed up, and we're, boom. Finally, I think me or both of us or whatever, we got that last shot on the guy and finished it up. And so, yeah, unlocked a lot of stuff, seasons and all these different things I can now do for just a ton of objectives. Back to the main Washington, D.C. I think I've still got 2 main missions to do. I looked at it. I was like, oh, I don't know if those were added or I still had 2 left. So I know, man, when me and you played this on PC, it kind of does that mid-game ending. Is that a good terminology for it?
Yeah, I would say.
Where we said, oh, we finished, or I think I finished it, right? Because I was group leader. And and you were like, well, you're not quite done, Gunny, because, this is more of a ending cut scene for what's more to come, So I was like, all right. But that's games for service for you, right? That's kind of how those go. So Ubisoft has their own way of doing it. So
right.
But either way, of course, right? It's not something I'm going to be playing all the time, but there's replayability there for sure. So, and the last game I've been playing, guys, I didn't mention it a couple weeks ago, but I did check on Steam and it's still available. And was it Dead Kamikazes that recommended that game, Gun Devil? Just Gundeevil. Free to play on Steam. Overwhelmingly positive. It's single player. There's no microtransactions or anything like that. But as soon as he posted it, I was on the Steam. I was like, oh, let me just download it. Just, an indie game, a side scroller. And I thought, holy crap, this game's actually really good. So I recommend it. Just a side scrolling hack and slash or shooter. But yeah, check that game out, guys. I had a good time. I couldn't get past the dog though. I'm sure there's probably a way around it, but yeah. But I want to go back and play some more of that. So nice to see those little gems come to Steam, where they're just a free to play with no microtransactions. So they just give it away, which is cool. But that's all for what I've been playing, guys.
All right, cool. Yeah, back. Yeah. Whoa. I played a little bit of Cyberpunk as well this week.
Nice. That game's gaining traction again.
Nice.
Started a new playthrough, Mayo.
Nice. I know Caddy just started playing it. He got his new computer built with his 3090 and his i9. Yeah. And so he was just posting screenshots like he was getting like 100 some frames. And he put in our Discord, he was like, this game looks so good. I'm like, oh yeah, it does. I like it.
It's so fucking good. That game is great. I just got past the what was it? The main mission where the Cyberpunk splash screen comes up. I just did that part where you get Johnny in your head or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So I did that part. That game is so much fun. It's so good. So good. Anyways, let's move on to some news. It's news time.
News time.
Okay. Well, anyways, you all know the game Phasmophobia, right?
Yes, very good horror.
Which one was
Halloween kind of year time right now? So
yeah.
That was one with the ghost. That's where you walk and you got to figure out what kind of ghost it is. And that's where you have the flashlight and you talk to them and they respond.
Yeah, Kyle, my son periodically, because he doesn't do a lot of talking apparently, but I'll just be sitting there in the living room and he's like, Alan Carter, reveal yourself. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's somebody in the apartment here? Then I turn around and like he's talking to,
the game.
A ghost. Okay.
Anyways, there's a controversy going on with this
game.
Back in January, one of their Discord administrators by the name of Sharkle Salamander was accused of sharing nude photographs with another community member and making racist comments. Apparently, this happened on the 25th of January. During this time, developer Kinetic Games suspended that account and suspended them from being an admin on their Discord while investigating before accepting Charcoal's evidence on the 30th of January, with other admins spending around 2 weeks before concluding that Charcoal never did anything wrong, nor did he harass people. So he was reinstated as an admin of the Discord for that game, the official Discord of the game. Things apparently went quiet until about August 15, when the studio received further emails about the allegations. As it did not contain any evidence and had previously been resolved, lead developer DK decided the studio would not investigate itself. On the 27th of August, things began to happen. The allegations began to reacquire traction within Phasmophobia communities on places like Discord and Reddit, while a new account began messaging Kinetic Games lead artist Corey CJ Dixon about them. It says here, Charcoal is accused of using racist language on at least 2 occasions, with videos of scrolling screen caps showing them talking about squinting in the context of Chinese people before going on to tell a racist joke about Japanese people. The second accusation is that Charcoal received nude photos from someone else and offered to share them with a friend in the DMs of that Discord. There is no indication as to whether he did share the pictures or not, only that he offered to share them. There are screenshots of exchanges that appear to back up these claims. Other claims which do not seem to have any proof. It says here, CJ's response to this Reddit account's concern about Charcoal were not good. And the DMs that were later made public, the developer wrote, the whole sharing nudes things, he's explicitly said he didn't ask for them. She sent them anyways at her own risk. So if he wanted to give them to a friend, that's fair game in their opinion. They do not agree with it, but it is not punishable in removing them from the Discord admin team. But they can have a conversation with him about it. But yeah. Anyways, pretty much the response from CJ, one of the lead developers over at the studio that made this game, people were not happy with his answer, right? They were saying like, hey man, how the fuck are you going to let this happen? You know, like,
yeah.
Anyways, people are mad at Kinetic Games because they're kind of being dismissive about the whole situation. And, but they said that none of the Kinetic Games development team condones sharing private images of any kind without the consent of the people involved in the images. They would also like to emphasize that they do not condone any racist remarks that Charcoal had made or posted, and it does not reflect the views and the values of the rest of the team. They say they will be restructuring the Phasmophobia Discord staff and will be vigilant of any future misconduct, and they will react firmly and appropriately. And they said they apologize for how they handled that situation. Pretty much some dude on the Discord admin team for this game. Or whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like he's just a little immature and not...
Didn't think about it or whatever.
Yeah, right. No, he's not like part of the development. He's just kind of like...
Yeah, it's like community
Discord,
management.
You know? Like he'd be like one of our admins in our Discord. You know, he may not have really any kind of connection with how the people, the people that make the game or the direct.
Right, like he's not a project manager.
But he does kind of represent a little bit, you know, as being a mod for that server. If it's
official. Yeah.
I mean, he's just a mod in a server, so he could be just a normal, you know, everyday person that has no real connection with any of the development team at all. And they just, you know, entrusted him at first, and they just maybe made that mistake and move on. So I don't see why, you know, Phasmophobia and that company should be getting a bad rep.
Right. No,
except for the way they handle it, you know. But I'm sure they will probably, you know, get rid of him. Maybe they could have done something faster or whatever. But now I guess it's a Discord thing. They could at least deranked him or something. You know, took him out of the mods spot for a while, and then be like, until we figure this out. You know, you're not going to be a mod, you know, who knows? But
yeah, it sounds like also there, it sounds like, doesn't it sound like to you, Jesus, that it sounds like this, this group of moderators or people in that Discord are a little too close, right? Especially for them to say, well, there was no substantiating claims, you know what I mean? Or he's reinstated due to lack of evidence or what, I don't know. Just seems a little fishy there, right? That probably a buddy, a best friend, you know, that, you know, wasn't the best position for this guy to be in as a moderator to begin with. Yeah, he's reinstated.
Somehow he got it. Anyways, in other news, an Elden Ring player has beat Melania at level 1 using a dance pad. That's right.
Damn.
Since its release, many Elden Ring players have documented the struggles against the Millennia boss. As a recent example, it took one fan over 1,800 tries and 38 hours to beat her.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like, oh man, I suck.
Twitch user Miss Mika, who has just beaten Melania at level 1 with a dance pad, says here Miss Mika shared a clip from the fight on her Twitter account and mentions that it took her 553 tries and over 15 hours to overcome that challenge. Apparently, she only used 4 healing flasks in that encounter. And she says she plans on taking Malekith next.
Wow.
So, I mean, a dance pad, that's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen her play on the dance pad.
That's crazy. How do people do that? Like, I guess you just memorize, like, the moves. You just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I wonder what she's doing, like, on the, okay, so she's got the dance pad and then she's got the keyboard, but maybe, I guess, for, probably just bringing up, like, the whole, the speed or flasks or whatever, health flasks. Other things.
Maybe, I don't know.
Crazy, yeah. Amazing.
In other news, move on here to some Beyond Good and Evil 2 news. Says here Beyond Good and Evil 2 has overtaken the Guinness record holder Duke Nukem Forever as a game for the longest in development ever. So, that's right. Duke Nukem Forever, which released in 2011, previously held the Guinness World Record for the longest development period for a video game project. Mayo, it took Duke Nukem Forever just over 14 years to release.
Wow, that's all?
That's all.
I think Jesus, I think you and I could make a game in 14 years.
Guys,
I could probably make a GTA 6 in 14 years.
Guys, I did the game testing for Duke Nukem Forever. I had to sign an NDA saying, you won't say a word about this game. And I was like, okay, it's... In my head, I was thinking it's not very good.
Gunny was like,
I never bought it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually
Gunny, 18 years old. He was out of high school.
So whatever, okay, so we've talked about this before, whatever year, so that was 2011. I remember I just met the age requirement. Like I was just not quite that old, but yeah, one more year I wouldn't have qualified because they would have been like, you're too fucking old to fucking play video games.
Okay. Well,
so I could have been 39. I don't know, whatever it was. But yeah, I did that down in Novato at 2K Studios, about 20 minutes from my house. But yeah, I didn't like it anyway. The guy giving the, like doing the whole testing thing was a dick anyway. So there was I think there was 10 of us, all doing the testing. So
nice.
Not the testing, but the playthroughs or whatever. Focus groups or something. But yeah, Good and Evil, I never played the first one. But yeah, I mean, the second, that game looks gorgeous. So I remember seeing that at E3. And
yeah, you saw it 4 years ago.
They scratched it.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. It looks so good. Yeah.
I remember when they did it, it was excited. Everybody was excited. And then we saw nothing after that for a while.
No.
This year, Duke Nukem Forever went 5,156 days from its announcement in 1997 to its release in 2011. It has been 5,234 days since the first Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer was released. So yeah. Anyways, Ubisoft first began officially discussing Beyond Good and Evil back in 2008 when the CGI trailer for the project was released. Though at the time, series creator Michael Enciel had already been working on the project for at least 1 year. So in 2008, he was working on the project for at least a year. It says here in 2016, Ubisoft publicly recommitted to the project once more with the big E3 announcement and launch of a series of regular development updates dubbed the Space Monkey Program. Where the years went on, the things got quiet again. In 2020, Ansel left Ubisoft amidst reports of trouble at the game's development studio. Ubisoft stated that work on the game would continue, but did not give any expectation as to when it will actually arrive. So there's that. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on here to some more news. Horizon Zero Dawn. There's a remaster coming supposedly.
Are you excited for this, Jesus?
According to a report, the updated version of the 2017 Guerrilla Games title will feature improved visuals to bring it up to par with this year's sequel, Horizon Forbidden West, in the forms of new character models, lighting, and animations. In addition, it is claimed that the new version of Zero Dawn will add accessibility features, graphics modes, quality of life improvements to the gameplay itself. And so, yeah, there's all that. So anyways, who knows?
Yeah, yet another remake, or remaster.
They're all going to get remastered. Everything Sony's going to get remastered to the PC, man.
Well, this is already, the first one is already on PC. So...
Well, they're all going to get... Everything that Sony owns is going to get remastered to PC.
Money in the bank, right? Rebranded as new.
Definitely.
Yeah. In other news, move on here to some more news. Google news. Google is shutting down Stadia. That's right.
Rest in peace.
Google is shutting down Stadia, the cloud streaming service. The service will remain live for players until January 18th of 2023. Google will be refunding all Stadia hardware purchase through the Google Store, as well as all the games and add-on content purchased from the Stadia Store. Google expects those refunds will be completed in the middle of January. They said a few years ago, we launched consumer gaming service Stadia. And while Stadia's approach to streaming games for consumers was built on a strong technology foundation, it hasn't gained the traction with the users that we expected. So we made the difficult decision to begin winding down our Stadia streaming service. They do say that they plan to apply Stadia's technology to other parts of Google, like YouTube, Google Play, and its AR efforts. And the company also plans to make it available to our industry partners, which aligns with where we see the future of gaming headed. In FAQ, they said that refunds will automatically be made through the Google and Stadia stores, and you will not have to return any hardware, Mayo. Stadia Pro subscriptions will not be eligible for a refund, but you will not be charged during this shutdown period, and you can access the games you might have redeemed as a Pro user until everything has wound down. Google has also now closed the Stadia store permanently, so you can no longer buy games or make in-game transactions in the games on Stadia right now. So there's that. I bought Stadia. I think it cost me like $25 or something. So I'll probably
bought it on a fire sale. I remember that.
Yeah, I'll probably get a refund from them. I don't want their money back. I mean, I thought it was cool. It works.
And
the service works.
Like a Chromecast as well. So I mean,
yeah. I mean, a Chromecast is like $50 itself.
Yeah, it's what was it? They're like 2.0, right? I mean, well, they're their latest.
It's like it's the 4K one or whatever. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, but Jesus, I said it like back. What was it? Fucking last holiday, whatever. Well over a year ago. Didn't they have like 3 studios? Right? They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this whole games thing. Yes. And like, boom, they just overnight they were just announced like we have both studios closing down. We're just gonna keep one studio open, but don't worry, your studio account is just fine. But that was for them to release. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I guess this is it, right? They're just eventually they'll just call it quits. And I think it was yesterday or Friday or whatever they called it. But yeah, what game did they have? And I thought it was successful. Was it not Ark? No, New Worlds or something like that. They had New Worlds and that was pretty good. I never played it, but it kind of had that like Conan Exiles feel to it, but more combat wise and something else. I don't know, but yeah. So they tried their hand at games, man. They can't compete with the Microsoft, Sony, Steam.
Also, in other news, let's move on here to some more news, guys. Ubisoft is working on a way to let players who bought games on Stadia Mayo transfer their game purchases to the PC side of things. It says here, Stadia may be shutting down next year, but if you purchased any Ubisoft titles on the cloud gaming platform, you will be able to transfer your purchases to the PC store or the PC at some point in the future. Ubisoft has confirmed. So you own games on Stadia via via, Ubisoft games, you're going to be able to transfer them to your PC via the Uplay Connect store or whatever, man.
I feel like Uplay's in a good spot for that because, like on Steam, if you open a Uplay game, it opens Uplay, you know what I mean? And then you have to launch it through their browser. Or I think the same thing with Epic. So like all the other, as you will call it, launchers that use a Uplay game, it makes you go to the Uplay store. So if Stadia was the same, I think all of them should do that. Like if you should be able to have cross progression on everything. Like if you own the game on like on an Xbox or something like that, because everything makes you go through the Ubisoft account, you should just be able to have access to all your information on your games. You know what I mean? Like not just like them crediting and stuff like that. I mean, that's a completely different subject, but I just feel like you should be able to get, since you're launching through their app, no matter where you're launching it from, you should be able to access all your save files and have cross-play and everything. And maybe they'll get to that point. I feel like they're in a good spot for it, though.
And
so
I know it should be pretty easy, right, for this to happen for Stadia.
So then the credit and move it to Stadia.
They already logged in with their Uplay account anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still one of those people that I still have a separate account for like Uplay. I think Uplay is definitely one of them where I still have a separate Uplay account for the PC and for when I was a console user, right? Before, before any of this integration happened. So it's almost like I have two accounts. So yeah, still have the two separate ones. Don't know why, but would be nice to have that cross progression.
In other news, the PlayStation boss, Jim Ryan, personally flew Mayo. He flew on his private Sony plane to Brussels last month to discuss Microsoft's plans to acquire Activision Blizzard. According to this report, Ryan spoke to European Union regulators who are currently examining the proposed acquisition and voiced concerns over its console rival having ownership of the Call of Duty franchise. Activision's first-person shooter series is one of the best-selling games on PlayStation almost every single year, and PlayStation is reportedly concerned that it could lose access to future installments once the current deals have been honored. So, with the current deals are like I think the current contract says that they get exclusive shit for the next 3 years. So they're afraid that after the next 3 games come out, or the next 3 years, that Microsoft's going to be like, no, we're going to put Call of Duty only on Xbox and PC. They say that the brand was the only video game IP to break into the top 10 of all entertainment brands among fans. They joined powerhouses such as Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and Lord of the Rings. Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choices of console, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it will never be able to rival Call of Duty. It says here, for its part, Microsoft has come out and said that they confirmed that it plans to continue developing Activision franchises for competing console platforms, and said that they will continue supporting Call of Duty on PlayStation beyond the existing agreement that has already been established. They said it makes zero business sense for Microsoft to remove Call of Duty from PlayStation given its market-leading console position. So there's that.
But they didn't have any problem with locking Xbox people out of certain early game content or different modes.
Yeah.
They had special modes
Destiny
in the PlayStation.
2, huh?
No problem whatsoever.
Remember
there. That was
Destiny
okay.
2?
We could lock them out. What mode did they have that the Xbox did not have?
Oh, they did, right? They had that one mode. I forget. Yeah. It's like a co-op mode or something. Right?
Didn't it have something to do with zombies or something?
No, they had like some co-op mode or something.
I don't know.
Right. I remember. That was recently, within the last couple of years.
I remember they locked out, and they're like, oh, you can only do this on the PlayStation. And then, all their little perks where they like, they're the first ones to get the betas. They're the first one to get a certain map.
And that's going on right now. And even right now, they have exclusive skins going into the game at launch.
Right. And all this is okay, they're worried about Xbox owning it, You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be left out. That's what they're concerned about.
Guys, a couple things I want to touch on here. So I remember initially when they talked about this acquisition, and again, I'm just going by what I heard like in a podcast when they were talking about it. But there may be actual numbers out there that they were talking about. This is Call of Duty, including all its, DLC and microtransactions, is 30 to 40% of PlayStation's revenue. But I was like, well, I know it's high, but I don't think it's 30 or 40. But that is quite a chunk, right? If it's true. Again, I don't know, the number for Call of Duty, but we've known that how long have they had I call it the contract, right? Microsoft had it for over 8 years, right? With the Xbox 360, like all the, right, the early stuff and then you also get the advertisement rights or whatever. So basically, Activision puts it all out there, buy it on Xbox, so now Sony's had it for over 10 years. And I know that ends, I think it's like 3 years or 3 games, something like that for the next 3 games. And then, then the thing will, this contract will go through to be wholly owned by Microsoft. But yeah, I'm curious as to what that revenue is. And I'm sure for Jim to get on a plane and go to Brussels, it must be a significant amount. But I don't know, guy. I think it's always going to be on PlayStation, but let's say let's just say for sake of purposes here that maybe they have other plans, right? Maybe Saudi and Adela and Uncle Phil are like, yeah, fuck them after 3 years, right? Fuck that. We'll just say, yeah, we're going to do it now, but 3 years from now, hey, things are going to change around here. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, right? But maybe just do maybe they're thinking, who knows, right? A timed exclusive, right? Play it first on Game Pass anywhere or whatever, right? Then it'll come to Steam, then it'll come to PlayStation, right? They'll do one of those things like they've always done where they don't tell you like, oh, it's going to be a 90-day thing, right? A lot of game companies do that. A lot of publishers do it, right? Well, how long has it been on there? How long has it been on Epic and not Steam, right? Well, for example, a Borderlands or a Chivalry, right? Again, nothing as huge as Call of Duty, but, I think it's a year. I'm not sure. Maybe 3 months, a lot of speculation, right? So maybe they might go that route of things, right? To say, no, man, it's coming to the PlayStation, whatever. Again, we're talking 3 years from now, but yeah, I don't know. But whatever, it's there. I don't know. If I own it, Jesus, if you own a car, Jesus, or you don't own it or whatever, your aunt owns it, right? You drive it all the damn time, and I drive it sometimes, but I'm using a car analogy here, but I don't know, Jesus. What if I buy that car, right? And you're like, you motherfucker, I need to get to work. But I'm like, yeah, it's my car, Jesus. I bought it from your aunt. Whatever. So it's my car. It's in my driveway. You can't drive it anymore unless I say you can. I don't know. Then you got to come steal that shit. Who knows? Who knows, guys? I think it's an argument for 3 years from now, but.
In other news, I mean, speaking of console sales, PS5 has sold as of like a day ago. They've sold over 22 million PS5s worldwide. I mean, Switch has sold over 29 million consoles worldwide. Xbox, we don't know, but I mean, it's clear that PS5 is not doing bad at all, like in terms of sales.
No, I think they're doing pretty darn good.
They're pretty fucking, and they're still
as soon as they're made, they're sold. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't find them at the stores, so people are buying those things up pretty fucking fast. In other news here, let's move on to some more news. This is coming from the Twitterverse. Andriy Nisrok Korzinskin, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, has passed away performing a combat mission in Ukraine. This guy was a lead developer and animator for the game Metro Exodus. Apparently he was in the Ukraine fighting for Ukraine, and he passed away. So there's that. Yeah.
Damn.
Sad. Yeah, there's a war going on over there, guys. Remember, guys, don't forget. Still a battle going on over there. The wars still going. Still going on over there.
Looks like Ukraine's taking back those territories, though.
Ukraine's fucking
from what I see.
Fight. Russia can't do shit to them. In other news, more piece of news here that I have for you guys. Oh, what the fuck happened? Oh, this piece of news that I have here. PSVR 2, Mayo. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. Apparently, Bloomberg has now reported that the manufacturer has gone into full production for the PlayStation VR 2. They expect to launch 2 million units by March of 2023. So apparently that's the release date is March 2023. Sony has yet to announce the official release date. They have said early 2023, but the manufacturer says that Sony wants these headsets and this hardware done and boxed and ready to go by 2023 of March. This is going to be a mass production. They plan to have 2 million units ready to go on day one, Mayo.
And they usually sell about 3 to 4 million, right?
You think they'll sell out those 2 million on day one?
I don't know. I mean,
I think so. Didn't they sell like 4.5 million in a short time?
How many
within
PSVRs do they sell all together now? Like,
I have no idea.
I believe you said it was a little over 4 million, I think is what the last time you looked.
It says here that as of December 31st, 2019, they've sold over 5 million units.
Oh, it's a little up there now. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many years was that? That was a couple years, right? You said 2019?
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So that was probably in the hype, though, probably. Yeah. 2019 was probably one of the most popular. To me, I feel like VR has kind of died down a little bit. Like, it's gotten pretty quiet, I feel. Like, you don't see a whole lot of games coming out in VR. You know, you still see the same. You go to the Oculus Quest store, the Oculus Rift store, whatever you want to call it, and it's pretty much the same old games. There's not a whole lot of stuff they keep adding. You know, you're not seeing new stuff, or you're not seeing new stuff pop up on Steam, except for all these adult games or whatever. You know, they're just a weird market that kind of pop up. But
yeah, I did do the what is it? I have the Rift S, right? Is that the one I have? The $300 one, which is worth $400 now, apparently.
You have the Quest, don't you?
Is it the Quest?
Yeah, the Rift is the one you tether to your PC, and then the Quest is the
Quest
wireless
2. This is the wireless one. But yeah, I look at the store periodically. I keep the goggles in the living room, and yeah, that store hasn't changed much. The only featured game they have is like a free to play. I mean, then you know, the other stuff they have is always it's the same stuff, right? The Star Wars. The Vader game, right? So
Vader Immortal.
Vader Immortal, yeah, it's like right on the top of the page. I'm like, nothing new, huh? You get some more developers on it.
And another piece of news that I have. This kind of just came in right now. On Thursday, Mayo, if you are looking for an Xbox Series S, you might be able to go to Target, because Target is launching their holiday sale this year pretty early, apparently. And this Thursday, Target will have the Xbox Series S with an extra controller, Gunny, for $250. That's a pretty good price.
That's pretty good. It's normally $299 with one controller.
Yeah, and it comes with an extra controller, $250. It seems to me like those things are pretty readily available. Like I see them everywhere all the time.
I see them in the stores.
The Series S is pretty like everywhere. I feel like people aren't buying them as much. And I think it's because Microsoft put such a small hard drive on those fucking things. You know, people are like, I'm not buying a 500 gig console to only have 300 gigs of it. Like every time I go to install anything on that thing, dude, it tells me like, you don't have enough space. You don't have enough. Like, I even thought, should I just buy a fucking hard drive for this fucking thing? Like buy one of their expansion things, but the fucking expansion costs as much as the console does.
Right.
You know? Literally, it costs like $200 for a fucking Microsoft stupid memory card, 1 terabyte thing.
Yeah, because I was, the other night, because again, I had to work like an extra day. So here I am in the living room, awake. I'm like, I guess I have an Xbox 360 I can play on, but like, sometimes it's a little nostalgic, but I was like, man, would have been nice to have the, my Xbox Series S here.
So Jesus, the other day I was at Verizon and I ended up buying a new cell phone, And while I was there in the process of buying my cell phone, they had a big Xbox logo and stuff, like a picture of the Series X on the wall. And they were advertising like you could get the Series X through Verizon. And so I asked the guy just out of curiosity why he was getting my phone ready. And sure enough, he's like, we actually have them on hand like right now. And they do that 2-year plan where you get like 2 years of Xbox Xbox Live with it. Or not Live, or whatever. But I didn't know if it was Ultimate or Game Pass. Sorry, I didn't know if it was like Game Pass Ultimate, but
it is.
So I almost picked it up because I can't remember what the price was, but it basically was like no interest payments on it. You know, like you qualified, and then I think they just added to my Verizon bill, which is crazy.
It was like, how much was it a month? I forgot.
It was like 30. It was like 30. I think he said it was like $36 or $35 a month. But I mean, I'm already paying $15 a month now for Ultimate Game Pass. So I was like, for $15 a month. And he's like, yeah, he goes, we have them on hand right now. He's like, we got multiple of them back there. And I just thought how crazy, like how easy it'd be to just walk into a Verizon store, and I guess maybe for some of our listeners, if it's something you were looking for, you might be able to just walk into a Verizon store and find one, which is crazy.
Yeah, I was in a, I don't know if I was on a Discord call or Xbox call with somebody, one of our community members, and might have been somebody at work, and they were talking about doing that same thing. So it could have been from Verizon or Best Buy or somewhere. So a lot of people do that. So.
But yeah.
Good deal. But hey, Mayo, I would just say cancel your $15 a month. You can do it that way. So.
Yeah, I thought about doing it. Maybe just going in and getting
cancel it, but you know what I mean.
Doing it that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you haven't paid for like a full year or anything, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just do it right now. I just actually renew month to month right now. So I usually buy like 3 months or 6 months at a time.
That's what I used to do. So.
I mean, I know I just go and just buy one if I found one, but you really don't see them in the department stores. Kind of like the PlayStations. I usually look. If I'm in like Myers or like a Walmart or anywhere that usually sells consoles, I'll take a peek and see if they have one in there or not, And most of the times I don't see them. You
know what I think I'm going to do, guys, is what phone did I say I had, Jesus? Was it the 10 or whatever on the iPhone or 11 or some shit or whatever? Now we're at 13, 14. So 14, God, every year goes up. But yeah, I'm going to probably, so I think we're all eligible. Me, wife, and kid are all eligible for new phones. So I'm probably going to do that. I was thinking I'm either going to do two things, right? To see if if T-Mobile does that, the Xbox Series X kind of deal per month, or I'm just going to get like a new iPad. So unfortunately, you have to so what you do is, I do want the higher refresh rate on the screen, which is like the Pro version. And I think those are like $529 or something like that or more. Could be up there depending on the storage. So yeah, I think I'm kind of debating on that. So either a new iPad Pro or a new Series X. I don't know. But again, I got to find out if T-Mobile does that. So, kind of adds it to the bill. But that's the plan for November.
Okay.
Assuming there's stock available.
Yeah. And that's really it. Besides that, Overwatch 2 is kind of like the big news right now. It's a free-to-play game coming out tomorrow. We already told you the start time. Servers go live 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Pacific. As of right now, Overwatch 1's already dead. Servers have been shut down today. Already, like a long time ago, early this morning. All your cosmetics, Mayo, will transfer to Overwatch 2. Your characters, your credits, all that stuff automatically transfers if you're a PC player. If you're a console player, you want to transfer your stuff, you must log into the Overwatch from your console account. You must follow the on-screen prompts to scan a QR code on your mobile phone. You enter the code displayed on your console to connect to or create your Blizzard Battle.net account. Once you complete that, you will be prompted to confirm your account upon the next game login to merge your accounts. Also, Overwatch 2 is going to implement the same thing that Call of Duty has done. To combat toxic behavior, you must link a phone number to your account. On Steam, Call of Duty made me do that. They're like, put in your fucking phone number and we'll send you a code.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? It's like, oh, to make sure you're not an asshole to people online. And no, trust me, that did not help anything because it was every fucking match that I played, there was people talking shit.
That's not.
Yeah.
And you know who were the worst ones? Guess who were the worst ones? The fucking PlayStation 5
I was getting ready to say the
players.
PlayStation people.
Those guys are just the worst. They literally, because the problem with the PS5 is that those fucking controllers, each of them have a microphone.
Oh yeah.
And I'm assuming automatically the voice is on, like for console gamers. On PC it's different. You can have it on all the time, or you can have it to where it's push to talk. But on the console it's just on if you have a mic on. Well, of course you always have a mic on if you have a controller on. So half the time I was listening to people like with like their wife in the background yelling at them like, "You fucking piece of shit! You don't do nothing but play Call of Duty all day or whatever." Yeah. And then I was listening
You're
to
not
people
getting no
like
fucking Doritos, you asshole.
people playing like loud ass music in the background. Every match, literally the first thing I did, every match that I got into in the beta,
mute
was
lobby.
Fucking mute lobby. Everyone just fucking mute them all. I don't care who I'm talking to. There was only a few times, literally, like probably like when I was playing the prisoner rescue mode. Those were the only times where like talking to the teammates was actually helpful, like people were actually being tactical and shit, like saying, "All right, guys, let's all go left," or "Hey, they're over here," or whatever, like people were doing call outs. But like the regular team deathmatch or the fucking ground war or any of the other modes, that shit was just chaos in the lobby. It was like, what the fuck? Especially the ground war mode, because that one had like, that's the one that had like 30 players on each team or whatever. So it's a bunch of people talking at once, dude. It was so annoying. It was so fucking annoying. I was like, this is Call of Duty.
Remember the good old days, Jesus, where, we didn't have all these modes in Call of Duty. It was, what was there like? There was like 3 modes, right? But you can go in. I like how in the lobby, right? You go in. Okay, you can quickly on the Xbox 360 controller, mute. Okay, they're good. Mute. All right, let's start. It was like it was easy back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's like longer matches, 50 versus 50. Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. It's Call of Duty though. Like I was expecting this shit talking. It was just really. It was like this felt like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like back on the 360, man. It was just so much shit talking, Mayo. It was insane, but it was kind of cool at the same time. So it was like, oh, you sons of bitches, you guys don't even know what I did to your mothers. Like, oh man, I will talk so much shit to you, motherfuckers, all of you.
Some of that stuff can be funny, right? Where other people wouldn't agree. They would say, "Gunny, that's wrong." But maybe I would say the only thing that really that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, especially when I was playing Hell Let Loose recently, was just the racism stuff. Like, that's you cross the line with that stuff. That's all
those people, I automatically mute them, and like sometimes I'll even report them. Like if they start dropping fucking N-words. Or like if they start talking about like being Nazis and white power and shit, I'm like, no,
all
bro,
that
like,
stuff is just come on.
Fuck you, man. That shit ain't cool. Like fuck you. It's cool to shit talk people. Like you're trash, whatever. I fucking killed you.
Yeah, you're garbage. You suck dick or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I know it's sexual stuff, but but suck dick at this game. I'm like, okay, you're funny. But yeah, that whole Nazi thing is just all right. That's gotta
fuck
go.
Out of here with that shit. Yeah. Also, apparently the PS5 has been jailbroken, Mayo. People have found out a way to jailbreak the PS5. And with the jailbreaks, apparently people are playing PT on the PS5 now. That's like the first thing people put on there. What's the love with that game? Like that's literally like a demo, and people love that shit.
What game?
Why do people PT, man? You don't remember PT?
No.
It was an exclusive. Yeah, it was exclusive PS4 game that was
probably a Konami thing, right?
It was being made by who the fuck was making PT?
Was it? I don't know. I always think Konami, something.
Hideo Kojima was making it.
Yeah,
that's
I
why
thought
it was so popular. Yeah.
I probably wasn't paying attention
before
to PS4 as much back then. So.
That was before he made Death Stranding. He was working on PT.
No, he was doing Metal Gear Solid 5, I believe, at the time.
He had just done that. Metal Gear Solid 5 was done already.
Yeah.
They just done Metal Gear Solid 5, and he was this was before Death Stranding got announced or whatever. He got gone on stage with Sony or whatever at E3, and then he was like, there's a demo for my game out now.
I remember Iam saying he had it on his PS4 probably at the time, early on. Said, I can just sell my PS4 with this game on it. I watched $500 out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Iam stream it for like an hour or two. It was kind of a weird game. It was just like walking down the same hallway, but like every time you walk down the hallway, some creepy shit would happen, and then it would just keep getting creepier and creepier, apparently. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah. Anyways, that's all we have for news. I'm done with the news, Gunny. There's no more news. Right. All the news are done. All the news it's all done.
Good deal. Over to the console corner.
Yeah, that's no more news. It's all done.
We're finished. We're moving on to the console corner now, guys. All right. No more news. We're done. No more Stadia news. Moving on to free and subscription-based stuff over here. What do we have for PlayStation? No more Stadia. That's gone. There's no more free shit coming out of that. I get the email. It's funny. I did not get an email, Jesus, from Stadia.
How the fuck is Stadia dead, but that Luna shit from Amazon is still going?
Is that still going?
Right.
I have not seen Luna in forever.
No one talks about Luna. Luna is still there, but no one talks about Luna. It's still there, though.
Yeah, I still see, every time I see that controller, I'm like, that's a cool looking, I know it looks similar to like, an Xbox, controller, but still, I don't know, it looks cool. I don't know, maybe I just like that color. But over to the console corner, guys, PlayStation Plus for the month of October. You get 3 amazing games. Hot Wheels Unleashed. I played that game. I only played it maybe a couple times, but it's really good. Fun. And also Injustice 2. No, I'm not a fighter guy, but good story there with Injustice 2. And another game called Super Hot. Another fun one. Play that in VR, man. That's pretty badass, especially if you got PlayStation. Again, I know it's 2 different versions. I think I might have purchased that game. I'd have to double check. So, but yeah, I think I can't play regular Super Hot. But well, now I can, right? Because I have PlayStation Plus. I can play all my stuff on there. So, I guess a win. I got to go download those. Play some more Super Hot. But moving over to Games for Gold. Now, there is a change for Games for Gold. I don't have the article in front of me, but I saw it on Twitter either today or yesterday, where they are now at 2 games a month, no longer 4. So, yeah, there's that, right? I mean, what was the deal anyway, right, guys? It was like, get these 2 crappy games and claim them and cancel download, right? So, they're taking up hard drive space. So, it's all about Game Pass now. But you do get, for the first part of the month, a game called Windbound. One word. So, doesn't look very interesting. But might as well go ahead and read off the second one. Bomber Crew Deluxe Edition will be available in less than 13 days. So keep that in mind. That's a great game. It's not like you haven't heard enough of that on this podcast. So go play it. But moving over to Xbox Game Pass. I know it's not I guess it's part of the subscription. What do we have here, Mayo, for Game Pass? Anything good on PC besides Deathloop? So I think I mentioned Chivalry 2 is coming out tomorrow. I don't even see that on games coming soon to Game Pass. That's the weird thing about
a
launcher, right? It must be a contract thing where I don't even see it on here. Like maybe I have to refresh it.
Yeah, it's weird because like on the PC Game Pass, it just shows recently added. And then you just have like the typical games. You got Valheim on there, which is a good one.
Yeah,
Slime Rancher 2, Moonscars, Deathloop, was it a couple other games. the Paw Patrol Grand Prix, and then it just says coming to Game Pass. You know, and it has Scorn as the first one it shows, which is on the 14th of October.
Yeah.
And then the new Plague's Tale, but it doesn't show anything about Chivalry.
Right. I wonder if it's kind of like last minute deals or something they do. So, or
yeah, I was going to check my phone because it seems like my phone app kind of shows more stuff than the actual Xbox app does on the PC.
Yeah.
As weird as it is.
Right. It's just a launcher, right? There's probably better websites or something like Twitter that'll kind of give you the heads up. So that's what I do is I follow that Game Pass on Twitter. And I kind of like that. I might be at work and it's like, hey, guess what's coming to Game Pass in 2 days? I'm like, fucking hey, nice, you know? It's funny, I didn't see that on the launcher, but again, assuming that's coming to PC, right? Because I don't have my Xbox on right now, so you never know what's going to come to the console itself or Game Pass PC, so. But lately, it has been like they release on both, but then, yeah. You never know. Maybe we'll talk about it next week. So, or put it in the Discord, see what's going on with that. So, but yeah, over to Epic for your free games. We have your first one is called Runbow. I don't know what this is, but I think I played this on Xbox One when it first launched. Yeah, RUNBOW, Runbow. And your second free Epic game is the Drone Racing League. Ooh. Not good for a boomer, but I claimed it anyway. I might do some drone racing. You ever watch drone racing, guys?
No.
On the internet? So you could probably just go watch it. I think they were doing it live on Twitch, and there were a few networks that were kind of doing this. I don't know if it was an ESPN type of situation or some other networks, but usually something you'd probably find on like a Friday night, Saturday night thing. So like wrestling or, some AMA crap. So I've seen it before and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Good deal. But never got into drones. And nothing over here for Steam. We had something last week, besides what I already talked about, whatever that game was on there. So the what was that game? Gun Devil? Yeah, that's a good game. Get that on Steam, guys. Well, that's all we have for your free games subscriptions.
Oh, actually, I have something on Luna, Mayo and Gunny.
Okay. What's going on with that?
If you're a Prime member, you can play Metro Exodus for free on Luna.
I haven't launched that launcher in probably 4 months.
And you can also play the Blair Witch game, Star Wars Pinball, Monster Truck Championship, Skatebird, and Earthworm Jim 2.
Earthworm Jim 2, there you go, there's a hit.
And I'm looking at the Luna page right now, Mayo and Gunny. You can get, for $9.99 a month, it's called Luna Plus. It gives you a library of games. Or you can get a family channel for $5.99 a month. That's for family games. Or a retro channel for $4.99 a month. That's retro games. You can also get Ubisoft Plus, which is $18 a month. Or the Jackbox Games Collection, which includes all the Jackbox Party Pack games.
Okay.
And that's $5 a month.
Oh, nice. Oh, no. Maybe I need to log back into that launcher and kind of add it to the console or core. I shouldn't even call it the console core at this point, but
to play those free games, all you have to do is be a Prime member. Like I could press play right now and it'll just launch.
You know what sucks about my Prime membership is not what sucks about it, but it's like my wife's company's Prime thing or whatever, right? So I've just been, you get the Amazon Prime, you might as well log in, and that's how I was kind of claiming those games under my gamer tag or whatever. I think that's what I was doing.
No, but the ones on the Prime channel, they rotate. If you're like on Luna, it'll rotate like every month or every whatever. Like they'll switch out the games that you can play for free.
Right, that's something I haven't logged in. I was just thinking of the Amazon Prime game, so different thing.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all. I guess if you wanted more free games, there you go.
Yeah, and what is that that gets posted in our group? because there's a few launchers that I don't mention here, guys. What are those? It's what's CD Projekt Red's launcher called? They have their own.
Yeah.
I haven't been.
Good old games.
Good old games, right? GOW. So available on there is Masters of Magic Classic. And I think I talked about on the show, like, one of the things it's like, whatever. I already have these games, that are, that they put on this launcher. And some of them are real indie games. And it's just like, they kind of did a revamp with it where, just put all your passwords in here and have everything in one library sort of thing. I don't like giving out like my PlayStation password and Microsoft password to, GOG or anybody else. I'm like, no, thank you. So, yeah, not going to happen. Not that I would think, I don't know, you just get hacked, you lose everything. So forget that. I'll just keep them all separate. But, yeah, so good old games. And there's a few others out there. Launchers we never mentioned. But one thing I wanted to mention here, guys, is I downloaded a couple of things here on Steam. So I think it's part of that games made in Australia or something, or devs in Australia, Melbourne, Australia, guys. But I think this might be separate, but it's called Next Fest. You see that, Mayo, on the front screen of Steam, and it just has hundreds of demos and a lot of live streams going on. So
yeah, I didn't click on it initially, but I saw it on there.
Separate thing, but there was a separate page. What the heck did I download? I was going to play. Let me see here. I don't think I have anything listed on here. I just kind of threw them in my favorites list, but yeah, check that out for you PC users. Might be some things in here you like. With there's one that here's one that Ghost Nico played. A game that's coming soon. It's called Tectonica. So think of like Satisfactory. So, and I can clearly see from just the last 3 months I haven't seen this game, it's a little bit better. So it's getting there. It's got factories and conveyor belts and stuff like that. So, and machines. Who knows? I'll probably put a couple 100 hours into this game once I actually get my hands on it. So, but no, I have not. I have the demo installed. Haven't played it yet. So, again, I've just been playing just so many other things, right? Trying other stuff.
This Next Fest looks kind of neat. Like they're showing like where you can kind of watch some streams and chat with the developers.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they're doing a stream with the developers of Hello Neighbor 2. And you can kind of chat with their devs, and they're kind of showing, I guess, there's a new demo.
I'm surprised how popular that game is. I mean, I popped open the iPad, and it was like, here, get this popular game. Like, Hello Neighbor 2. I'm like, wait, that game's everywhere.
It's a lot of games I've never heard of before, but there's a few that, the Hello Neighbor 2 and...
here's one for me, guys. It's called Manor Lords. Manor Lords. It looks like a city builder simulation strategy game. So that is getting installed immediately. So doing that right now.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of indie stuff, but you can watch the videos and chat with the devs. So
yeah.
Neat.
So yeah, it's called Next Fest, but should be on the front page of your.
Yeah, it's right on top of Steam store.
Steam, yep. So there's that. Let's move on to community questions here, guys. I know that
these are from last week. We didn't have any from today, so.
All right. But Brian Tulp Jr. has a couple questions. What's up, Brian? And his first one reads as, now that you know what the corn song is, what does he say here? Do you think Evan and Mayo could write a better song about pumpkins after the large pumpkins? We just talked about visiting the pumpkin patch, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
You and Evan.
I definitely feel like Evan and I could write a better song than that song. That song wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be next week, right? So that'd be funny. So I don't know. I already picture Evan. He's got his what is that thing called? The leg scooter or whatever it's called.
The little knee scooter or whatever.
A knee scooter. I've seen those before.
Scooter.
Knee scooter, but it's got like a shackle with a long chain on it, right? Because you don't want him to get too far, right?
Yeah. I don't want him getting away.
Try to get back to California.
He's not real fast on it because the terrain is kind of rough, you know. If he gets in a parking lot, he might get away. But so I got to keep him out of the parking lots. But as long as he's in the grass and or a little more off road, he ain't going anywhere.
Be like, check this out, Mayo. I'm used to being in California. We were on skateboards. We held on to the back of the bumper of cars and ride down.
Yeah, Mayo. Why don't you have him on to the back of the Camaro, and you go really fast down the street and have him hold on?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Do that. That'd be cool.
Well, we're starting off in stages, right? So while I was gone, he was walking my dog, and my dog just kind of pulls him, I think. So we're starting them off slow. We're going to start off with the sled dogs, and then we're going to move up to the the Camaro. Maybe the Nissan first, and then graduate to the Camaro when it gets good on the Nissan.
There you go.
Progression. We got to work that way up the speed.
So we might have answered this second question from Brian, but do you think Evan actually already hurt himself at work, or was trying to get some Ohio mommy killers?
I think you meant mommy milkers. I think in there maybe get auto corrected, but
yeah, right, yeah, some mommy milkers. He might have got hurt from that. So, there may be more that I know behind the scenes with the mommy milkers, but how he got hurt, yeah. Can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah, shit.
Met the wrong mommy milker.
Or the right one.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she might have had a big boyfriend. Very large.
But no, that's pretty much it. No more community questions. All right. You can find me over on Steam, Epic, Discord, Xbox app, as the Mayo. You can pretty much hit me up on one of those. Mainly Discord is the easiest. But I'll be on there. What about you, Gunny?
Yeah, go find me over on Xbox, Steam, Uplay, Epic as Gunny Chief. That's one word. GUNNYCHIEF. And over on PlayStation now, doing some PlayStation Plus stuff. That's HGP _Gunny. What say you, Jesus? What say you? Where we
find
find
everything as Jesus Walks Lot. I'll definitely be playing some World War III. I'll be playing some Marauders. I really want to know that game. I want to get in there. I want to scavenge some spaceships. I want to steal some shit. I want to attack other spaceships. And my cockroach spaceship. And yeah.
Cockroach spaceship. Your hobo spaceship. It's a hobo spaceship.
Do I get a new spaceship every time, or did I just fuck mine up and got it blown up?
Right. I don't know.
I do wonder if it's going to be... Yeah, I wonder how that plays out. Like, do you buy insurance, right? Is it like, hey, this insurance is like a free thing? Like, I almost said StarCraft, but I can't think of the name of that game right now. That's been in development for years, but they kind of do the same thing with insurance. Who knows?
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen, but maybe it's more of a... I don't know. I think the game is like new, right? So maybe it's just like everybody gets the same hobo spaceship.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What did you say, Jesus?
Peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next week's edition of the Horrible Gamers Podcast. We're out. We're out of here.
See ya.
Bye.